Hello. So you'll have to refresh that page.
Refresh.
And then scroll down because it'll show the new one. Right there it is. And then you hit that. No, don't hit that. And then over in the right-hand side, you'll get this pop-out chat. And then expand that, and then there's a little magnifying glass, and you set that to 300. Magnifying glass is top right. When I say my dogs are barking, I don't mean my feet hurt. What are you doing?
I'm apparently navigating poorly on the...
I will help.
I got it. I was sitting on the opposite side of the thing, so it was being weird. Here we go. That is also not good. Here we go.
Crazy, crazy dogs. Hello, everybody. You got it. And then you hit that blue arrow, so we'll stay current.
I'm helping.
Hello, everyone. So right now, I am. Oh, and we have me, and we have Stacy, and then Rue is going to be here very shortly. So.
All right, now it's posted in the creeper.
Hooray. Hello, James. Robin Hood. Hello.
Puppies!
Yes, the puppies are going nuts. What they do.
As is their way.
Thanks. This is my goat.
Oops, my goat. Hi, Hugo.
And I'm just taking the wall off. Now,
Gray is watching.
It
Says,
just-
"Doggies."
just reminded me that I haven't taken out all of the Q-tips yet. How did it remind me? It reminded me by pulling a small chunk out of the neck.
Hi, Scott. Hello, Josh Newman. And hello, Judy.
Hello. Hi, everybody. So there's a very thin layer of plaster that has come up over top of this mold wall. Very thin. Just as you're painting, it's bound to happen a little bit.
The enigma says how.
So I am cracking that so I can pull it off.
Get a room.
Hello.
Hello, Rue. We are live.
Hello, live.
Because when we say 7 o'clock, we try to meet 7 o'clock.
I tried to be at 7 o'clock. I didn't exactly rush on it, though.
Thanks. Okay. And Rue, you know what you're doing on the bug?
Nope.
What do you do?
He tried to steal my bandana out of my pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Michelle Schulte. Says hello to all of us.
Hello. I dug my Q-tips in pretty good. So now I'm going to find them.
Need them pliers?
I went to mine, to open mine in the car.
Oh, no. You got a church, you got a church key?
Yeah.
Okay. Thor says hello. Hi, Thor. Thor and Scott Cole want to say hello.
Hello, all.
I'm excited to see that first pour of your murder boat.
Murder, bro.
Oh, murder Jim.
It's a great name.
Only somebody good would have.
Quiet you.
Who came up with full murder jacket?
Technically, okay, so I'm splitting credit with Scott, with Cobwebs and Candlesticks. So he said murder jacket, and I said, is it a full murder jacket?
Nice.
Victory.
Ha!
Only a little sposen.
A little spoon.
Big Springtons, creepy people. Creepy people.
So I didn't go through all the effort of finding all of my Q-tips. So I kind of ripped them out when I ripped out the wall. And I left a terrible wound in my sculpture that looks like that,
Shame.
which I fixed like this. And now it's gone. There are things to get upset and stressed about. That is not one of them.
Losing Q-tips.
Q-tip scars. We all have them.
Hugo says hello.
Hello.
Some of our Q-tip scars are on the inside. What? There was one time where I was Q-tipping out my ear,
No.
and I turned and I jabbed my elbow into the wall,
Oh, that's
and
why you
that
don't
jab,
use your
and
ears.
oh man, that was so painful.
There's been a few times. It's definitely more than once where you get distracted, clean out your ears, you're walking around with a Q-tip sticking out of your ear.
If I have a mental disorder, it's that I Q-tip my ears 2 or 3 times a day.
Oh yeah, me too.
I don't want ear gunk in my ears.
That's the mental.
That's the one. Like, that's the easiest one to
If
put a
you
finger
have a
on.
mental disorder.
That's a symptom of a mental disorder.
Spook Shack says, I'm going to try and stick around during the whole stream tonight, been physically.
Wow, okay.
Enigma asks, how much detail do you think you lose using hydrocal versus silicone?
It's 0. The swap detail for detail, you don't get more detail with silicone because they both go on as a semi-thick liquid. So it's not like you're going to get more detail with one or the other. The question is, what do you do with
Yeah,
it?
there's a pretty big crack.
Where's your crack? Oh, it's not that bad. That's fine.
Well, we had lots of fun pulling the head out of this yesterday.
I bet.
But it's,
Did you have multiple?
No, it was just that.
Oh, no.
That's one that I poured up without a handle.
Okay.
Actually, you can guess who poured it without a handle. It was poured without a handle. He just filled it up. I'm like, no, you put a handle in there. You just do a thin layer. You do like a 2-inch layer of plaster, and he got it after that.
Good.
But
John
so
C. So I had to explain to someone that I had to explain to someone that a yellow jacket is a kind of wasp, so the name works.
yeah, it just sounds cool. That's why it works.
Yeah.
We have a guy who works at the haunt with us, and when I'm talking about scare ideas, he will often say something like, "Well, why would a garbage pile come to life?" I'm like, "Because it's cool and it'll scare people, and that's enough." But that doesn't make sense with a story. We'll just let that story go.
Thanks for sharing Hallie's Instagram, Scott. Charles Marquez says, hello, Mr. Magic Allen.
Hello.
Welcome, Cowboys and Candlesticks. Rodney Pope says, hello, Helen, Stacy and Rue.
Hello.
great videos today.
Yes.
Cobwebs.
Did the unboxing of the
Doing it
Oh, I
again.
haven't seen it yet.
Megalodan.
Rue, I'm telling you, this is not stuff you can aim. I'm just cleaning off my tools and stuff and cleaning the edge of my mold. Can't aim that. It just kind of goes places.
He says this until he turns his mold and does one of these. You can't aim this. as I aim this.
Accidentally hitting people with stuff is one of my joys.
CNC says, just picked up some things to add to him.
Cool. What you doing, Rue?
Cleaning clay out of the mold.
Okay.
Out of the full murder jacket mold here.
Charles Marquez says, I learned to make guts with you, master.
Hooray! That's
He
awesome.
Prefer sensing.
I like me some guts.
Thank you, Scott.
Every now and then, master makes it weird. Just gotta be careful.
It's all in how you say
Yeah. If you say it like Eddie Murphy, it immediately is fine. He's the sculpting master. Master.
I prefer you to say it like the Shogun of Harlem. Who's the master? I love that movie. I love that movie.
it. I like to say it like a Tesla.
Master.
So along this edge here, because I did a burlap layer, I have a couple little burlappy strings hanging out. I don't want burlappy strings hanging out, so I am burning them. Luckily, molds make poor candles, so the strings burn. Rue, guess what I got today?
What did you got today?
A new power washer.
Oh, guess what I'm gonna play with today?
You could get it out of the passenger seat of my van and hook it up, finish that mold.
Guess what I got today?
What'd you get today?
Apparently, right after you got it today.
What's that?
Bag of Ultra Cal and a bucket
Oh.
of latex.
You swung it right after me?
I was like, I went in there and I'm like, has Alan been here yet? Just wondering because I am going to the same place as him tonight. See if I have to give him a call. But no, you had already done it.
Done there.
Could have saved you a trip.
Common Channel 6 says, while you're out there, Rue, hit the horn. So you told them about the horn?
I did, I told them, yes.
Are we gonna have to take a
Well,
picture?
they've heard it.
Well, they've heard
We'll
it?
show it again.
Okay.
Some of them have heard it.
I guess I missed it yesterday.
Shannon says I can't hit the horn after 9 o'clock.
Oh.
Anyway.
But Godzilla could come at any time.
He could come at any time.
People need to be aware.
Godzilla will not be held down by your
Constant
rules.
vigilance.
Godzilla does not heed the will of the man.
Hugo says the monster run was very successful here. I had to repeat the video 5 times. Thank you, Scott, for plugging the Facebook group.
Woohoo!
Share your stuff. Good evening, Rachel Powell.
So let me show you guys what I'm doing. For anybody making a 2-piece mold, sometimes what happens is you get a little bit of plaster creep under that mold wall, and that leaves a little knife edge of plaster. I guarantee you that's going to break off at some point. Like, you can't just keep that there. So I always break them off, which will make a little divot into the mold, into the sculpture, I mean. It makes a little divot into the sculpture, and then that little divot in the sculpture will become a razor's edge of plaster, but on the negative. Well, you break that off really easy once the mold is made, and then you don't have to worry about it. Because if I left this on, and then I molded this side, and then that little blade broke off, I would have a area that latex would go, and when I trim the flash off, there'd be a hole. We don't want no hole.
Commons and Candlestick says she should not be home after 9. She might not know you were playing with the horn.
That's true, but I don't know who, but somebody here is a snitch. Somebody snitches to my wife sometimes about things that I do on the air. So I can't show everybody everything that I do on the air.
1980 says, I can't see it.
Like if I were having a monster at 7:30, that's not something I want my wife to see. You know,
Big Spring
so I wouldn't do that.
asks, is the Still Beast Facebook page just for making monsters?
Well, I mean, I don't think of it as short fiction space, but I mean, I don't know how weird of a question you're asking. I'm going to say no. It's for whatever you do.
You make other stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone's Candlesticks, oh yeah, horror dome sucks.
Well, okay.
think that might have been referring to something else.
Horror Dome has excellent sculptures. They sculpt. They have some good sculptors on there.
Ezekiel says, hey, all. Shannon says, put that down.
What? I'll find you.
Charles, I don't speak good enough Spanish to even be sure I could read that right. How's your Spanish?
Charles says, "Muitos está." Oh, it's gone.
It says, just weird.
Assistant. Oh, I'm not so good at that. But thank you. But you made a sad face, so I'm sorry.
Comes from Candle 6 asks Alan who owns Horror Dome.
You know what? I'm friends with them on Facebook. I see them every now and then online, but right now the name escapes me, and I'm a terrible person.
Mikey R asks, is it possible to make a two-piece
Lassiter! Quit it!
side to side instead of back to front?
What's that now?
Sorry, I
What?
distracted. Is it possible to make a two-piece mold side to side instead of back to
Yeah,
front?
sometimes with werewolves, because you don't want to have to clean all the teeth out of the snout, you would split them straight down the center of the head and have a right and a left. I have a couple werewolf molds like that at Dark Hour that we did.
To clarify, or translated, many are watching and didn't like.
Yeah, what the heck, guys? Okay.
I guess I'm missing.
Hello, big dog.
Where is? I guess I'm missing it. All right. So you saw my molesters. Sharon says the wife sees all. Big Dog says, I'll make this quick. Hello all, back in a few days. See ya. Hello, Ellen. This is Rue, fellow creepers, good evening.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry.
Big Dog says, my brother is still alive.
Who's alive?
Big Dog.
Good. Hooray.
Hi,
Still
big
alive.
dog.
Oh, that was a sharp edge.
Yeah, that was very close to the edge of the table.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about the mold that was almost injured. You've proven yourself to be resilient. The mold, however, could be in trouble.
Angel around.
I just got myself a mold.
Let's
Like,
see,
is the
it's
mold
just-
okay?
I bet Shannon would be a shoe-in for a job with the FBI or CIA.
Without doubt.
She's got the qualifications.
Qualification?
That's right.
I'm qualified.
Last her. Dang it, I tell him when I'm not even meaning to.
She just proved she was watching.
Yeah, but who told her to log on? That's what it is.
YouTube.
This is true.
You've been telling me this entire time? Oh, what an evil corporation.
Demonetized.
No more alarms for anyone.
Never mind. We love you.
That was a candlestick. So if you say her name too loud, she hears.
She was summoned. Okay.
Nice Danny says, how did that goat move? It was like something invisible moved it.
It was me! I was the invisible thing.
You move so slow.
Once upon a time, Michael Astor why to get so quiet. Chad Smith, bro code, guys.
No kidding. Bunch of tattletales. Snitches get stitches.
There used to be a shirt that maybe Hot Topic or Spencer's made that was camouflage and it said in tiny white print, now you can't see me.
That sounds like a hot topic shirt.
Yeah. Jordan asks, have you ever tasted goat?
Yes, Cabreto. It makes good tacos. It makes good tacos.
How about the candlesticks? Does the goat have teeth?
He will have teeth. He doesn't have teeth right now. His teeth will be a latex strip that we sculpt and then glue on.
Hey, lots of goats in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Lots of that.
I'm going to pour a little bit of xylene into this.
Scott is sending Shannon distracting cat videos.
Hooray! Yeah, now is the time for cat videos, Ezekiel. Scott. Now is the time.
Rodney Pope says, I see a new shirt. Shh, don't tell Shannon.
Kid.
Shannon doesn't know. Don't tell Shannon.
Xylene?
Charles asks, will one day come to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, please?
I would like to go to Brazil one day.
But he can't because he's a felon.
I'm not a felon.
You said I was in prison yesterday.
You have tattoos which verify my wild claims.
That he was in prison because he has tattoos?
Yeah.
I have tattoos.
Yeah, he has neck tattoos.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. See? Not even Stacy argues. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, neck tattoos. You're right on that one. That's pretty good.
Mine are probably closer to prison tattoos, though. It's done in my kitchen. At least some of them. Jordan asks, what did you think of my boogeyman?
He's very boogeyman-ish. He's even oogie boogie-ish.
Boogie boogie yes.
He's a very classic look to him.
1980 says, I would so put dentures in that goat's mouth.
Well, we can once. Right now, we have limitless options. That's the great thing. Right now, there's no teeth in it. So you're thinking about all the things that we could do. But if there were teeth in it, you wouldn't be thinking about those things. It would be a one-track go, put that down. Those are merman teeth.
Ezekiel says, if you haven't been locked up, you haven't lived.
Hooray.
Apparently have not lived.
I have not lived either. I've never even been arrested.
So Ezekiel, are your children watching? Are your children watching? I'm just curious. It may change my next few sentences.
Jordan asks, is this going to be articulated?
I will have versions that are and that are not.
Ezekiel says no kids.
Okay. I think I was in 8th grade, and our class did a Scared Straight program where we all went to prison. And we toured the prison.
Well, it worked. It kept you straight.
Well, it was 8th grade, and there were 8th grade girls in the class.
Sure.
And about 40 to 50% of the men just started masturbating right there.
No.
It's like they heard they were coming and started. And so that day, I decided never to go to prison because they didn't care.
Yow. But I missed a comment from Thor, which that would be Carl.
Whew.
Raymond Brown asks, is it just me, or could the hairless goat also pass as a camel?
Yeah, I mean, they all have the same face. Goats and sheep and cows. They're very similar head shapes, very subtle differences. And depending upon the breed of goat that you're looking at, they can shift more one way or the other. Llamas, I could do a bunch of stuff with this. Not that I think any of those are particularly scary. I think goat is the scariest of the whatever that family is.
College counselor says, oh man, like multiple MIGs from
Wait, I know it's
Sounds of the Lambs.
Yeah, I don't get the reference.
I slit my wrist. Look at the blood. That's from Sounds of the Lambs.
I never saw Silence of the Lambs. Because it's not a monster movie. Brew, what are you doing? Are you having a stroke?
Goats, llamas, camels, they all fall into...
Dromedaries?
Euripidae?
Is that it?
Dromedary? The camel?
Camels are, they're back train and dromedary camels.
There you
One of them has 2 humps and one of them has 1 hump. But I don't think dromedary is their
No,
family
I don't
name.
think that's the. But I think it's like that. Something.
Well, it's definitely a word,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that.
They're a hoofed mammal. They're not
Starting with the D.
Sweet ungulates.
Chad Smith says that should never be done. Scare them on the outside. Next
Yeah.
one he says, "Hey, kids, enjoying the show tonight."
Yeah, actually, and that class and that many, that the incidents that happened with that tour, they actually stopped doing the Scared Straight program that way.
I'm sure. Look.
They're like, oh, this was a terrible idea.
Jordan asks, "Why are ghosts sometimes associated with demons?"
They just have been. I mean, it's a history thing. They have that association. They were a typical animal to be found. They were a typical animal to be slaughtered in any kind of worship. And
Yeah.
since you have the scapegoat plays into that. He was slaughtered so that the people would be forgiven. I mean, that whole process changed over time. But that's a pretty deep history lesson to get into on a moldy show.
Michael Astor says they're all ruminant camels.
Okay, Ruben.
I thought he was just picking on me.
Newman Brown says the goat expressions would feed off.
think he is.
Love it.
Yes.
Chad Smith says you should make a screaming goat costume with a scream box.
Well, I've already had the idea to have one of those sound boxes that plays the Taylor Swift song. And then, when I knew you were trouble when you woke. I just woke up my dog, just so you know. But yeah, that's, and because we have a nice little piece of property here, and Shannon on occasion will say, I want a goat. And then I send her the screaming goat video where it's dubbed in with Taylor Swift songs. And it's like, I don't want any animal that makes this noise on a regular basis. Like no peacocks, because they scream like a woman being murdered. And no goats.
Lucky says, "Hey guys, I want to thank you so much for having something peaceful that can distract us from the bad going on around the country."
Hey, no problem.
Thank you.
Ezekiel says, "I was 18. My father was a police officer. The hiding I got from his was way worse than what the lockup did."
Yep.
Roddy Pope says, "I've poured my mask and let it dwell for 2 hours. It's been in front of a fan since 4 o'clock. How long before I can pull it out?"
Okay, you want the color to change. You don't want to see any more of the white in there. That white should turn into a manila type color. And if you want to see what a mask that's ready to pull looks like, let's go full Beast Man. Because Beast Mode was molded and poured up, and Beast Mode is ready to come out of the mold.
Nice, Jamie says, "Double wears masks and kills people. It qualifies as horror or gets the hose again."
Stacy wants to show you a cool trick she can do with her eyebrows.
I stress plucked a hole in my eyebrow.
Don't stress plug. Don't stress plug. That wasn't just me turning the camera so I could take a drink of my Monster. That is not what that was. Really.
He threw that away.
Yeah, right. That thing is.
Doesn't help that goats are jerks, man.
Yes.
Jordan says, "As big as they are, these dogs still babies."
They're only 6 months old.
How about Candlestick says, "The goats stand on rocks." That's cool.
They do. They stand on whatever they can get a hold of.
James Minnick says, "I see you're finishing your Halloween mask tonight."
Yes. See that color? It's no longer white. Last night when I looked at it, there was white down the tips of the ears and down the cracks.
You got called Shannon.
So further away from the wind and the air and stuff is going to have the most amount of areas that are still moist. Do not forget to powder your mask before you pull it out. I have some baby powder here, and I want to put a tiny amount in, and then I will brush it around.
Did you hear that Ryan Gosling is going to be the new Wolfman?
I did hear that. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm still figuring that out. I'm
Robert
searching
White-
and consulting my feelings.
No Shannon tonight, just the Stacey
Yes. Well, and a Rue.
and a Rue.
Yeah, he called her Shannon.
It takes 2 people to replace her.
It's true. And we're doing a terrible job. Michelle Schulte says, I always hold my breath when he does this for the first pulls.
Well, you don't know, because a lot of times if it's got weird teeth or something, you don't know if you have air bubbles in your teeth.
Everyone is excited for me.
I'm pushing down.
Rodney says, thank you, Alan. There's still white areas in the mask.
Yep, then leave that fan on it.
1980 says, just look at the notebook scenes with Ryan's full beard.
Well, I've never watched The Notebook. I didn't even know he was in it. That's like the movie that gets referenced when they talk about chick flicks.
Oh, yeah?
What are you talking about?
Man card or not, Notebook's amazing.
You can watch The Notebook. Just give me your man card. I'm going to bedazzle it, then give it back to you.
My man card got bedazzled long ago, Alan.
That wasn't a euphemism. I meant like really I was going to glue studs on.
Oh, I know.
Robert, no worries. 1980 says, the sword fight at the end of the Notebook was awesome.
Wait, there's a sword fight in the movie?
It's at the very end. Took you a minute.
You guys are trying to get me to watch it.
John C. says, the three-eyed goat Baphomet was part of the Knights Templar worship iconography in the 14th century. Then it was adapted in the 1800s as part of a demonic symbol.
Yeah.
Complex of Candlestick says, it's a chick flick? I thought it was about him restoring the house.
Oh, no,
Says,
totally.
the Notebook is terrible. I hate that.
Totally chick flick.
Ross Richard says, Alan almost handed in his card.
Well, I might have watched it. I mean, if there was sword fighting, it has a worth.
Oh, beast mode.
And I did leave this in like an extra hour by accident.
Oh my.
Poof.
James Bennett asked, what's so funny over there? Well, apparently,
They were trying to trick me into watching The Notebook, which is a movie that they all know I don't want to watch. But I only watch movies that have sword fighting or monsters in them. So they said there was a sword fight at the end of it.
Enigma asked, do you have to seal the clay wall when molding with hydrocal, or is it optional?
You don't. I put a barrier on it. There it is.
Beast mode.
There's beast mode.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Richard Power says, best chick flick ever is The Princess Bride, hands down.
That's not a chick flick. That has monsters and sword fighting.
It's a kissing movie.
That's my favorite movie ever. He asked if it was a kissing book. He very clearly said it wasn't a kissing book. Like, that's established in the film.
Is this a kissing?
It's not for kissing.
Nice Katie says, a little baby powder, a little less than a pound.
Yeah.
Jordan says, you produce more than you can say, but that probably doesn't make sense to some people because they don't observe the object of trade firsthand. Well, I just lost my point.
Hooray.
Jordan, the guy who was high in the drive-thru.
What?
Do you remember the line where somebody was posting in the, like, that they were Ubering to get fast food because they were super high?
Maybe, yes. It's possible.
Hugo
Yeah.
says, very cool. Michelle says, yes, looks great.
I think-
Sarah says, looks great.
I think he's going to work out.
Rodney says, love that mask. Enigma says, looks great.
And
Marcus, wow,
he
wow,
pulled
very
so easy that I am going to plaster him together and just use him as a one-piece mold.
1980 says, do not diss Princess Bride. That is inconceivable.
Princess Bride is my favorite movie ever. It is at the very top of my top 10.
Cowboy from Candlestick says, it's a classic. It can only be better if Ron Perlman's in it.
And probably my most quoted movie.
Is Hallie watching? Hallie has never seen a Princess Bride.
What?
Get out.
I feel like she must be, because
Ban her from the channel.
Scott shared her Instagram, so she must be on here. Rick Spencer says, 65 people watching, only 3 likes. Smash that like button.
Like.
Has monsters and sword fighting. Cannot be considered a chick flick.
Sounds so offended. It's thought it would give a trick play. Chad
And a
says
zombie.
good pull. Shelson says yes, good mind.
It is a good pull.
Robert White says fantastic movie mask.
Hey, thanks.
Says excellent. Newman Brown says my favorite movie ever is Highlander.
That's good.
John C. says,
So,
yeah,
we-
what's the notebook?
We had a guy work with us at Dark Hour, and every now and then I would catch myself saying, "Why, Ramirez, are you cruising for a piece of," like he says in Highlander? And he never got it. He just thought I was being a jerk.
Cowboys Candlestick says, what is she, 9? Never seen Princess Bride.
She's almost 9. I think she's like 23, which is the new 9,
Yeah. Thor says he looks awesome.
which is appropriate because 18 is the 30 is the new 18. Sweet.
What does that make me?
30 years old is the new 18 years old.
So I'm 35.
Because you think about how when kids are moving away from home,
Yeah.
well, they can't afford it until they're in their 30s now, just because of how the world has changed, you know? So 30 is the new 18. And you act a bit like an 18-year-old. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, you do have weird colored hair.
So,
Right. See, and your like one quick instinct for that is, well, lots of people my age are doing it. Of course, because 30 is the new 18. Of course. Yes.
Richard McGrath says, happy birthday, Beastman. Hugo says, woo, Beastman. Barry Haynes says, congratulations on the Beast Mode pull, looks great. Chad Smith says, I was out in Nashville a week ago. I can confirm 30 is the new 18.
It is. It really is.
And he says, Labyrinth is getting a sequel. Unfortunately, Bodhi has passed away.
And people are saying that 50 is a new 30. You've heard that, I'm sure. Well, that would mean the 30 is the new 18. Okay, so I need to get a bucket and Alexa, countdown, 90 minutes.
1 hour and 30 minutes, starting now.
That's not what she said.
Within 90 minutes, I'm going to have this sucker molded. So, ask questions, talk away, but I'm going to focus on my work and not drag this out into a long process. What's that?
Is it like last night?
Well, I mean, last night we molded 2, you know, and I wouldn't have got the goat all the way molded if we were not also molding that one.
John C. says, my great uncle left on the 15th, joined the army, and had a job in a house by the age of 20.
Yes, that's a pretty common story.
People also used to start at the bottom of a job and make themselves into millionaires.
Right.
That don't happen anymore.
I moved out at 15.
Good job, Stacey.
I moved out at 15.
Had a house
so
and a husband.
Way to skew the average.
Yes.
I didn't have a house.
Technically, I moved out at 17
Yeah.
because I moved out in June. And my birthday was in July.
Thomas Kale 6 says, damn it, gotta drive home. Be back later.
You always catch us on right like you drive in the middle of the show. Interesting. Okay, so I'm mixing plastic, and y'all are lovely, but I'm going to mix this plastic
1980 says, it's about time they rebooted the never-ending story.
because you know what?
I don't know.
Too
No,
soon. Too
no,
soon.
I do want them, but I want them to change the story a little bit and just make it be, you meet the kid, he gets the horse, there's an hour and a half of the horse slowly sinking in the mud, and then the movie is over.
Fight the sadness.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Newman Brown asks, have you ever created a mum raw mask?
I have not, but I have made a weird little skull mask that would look like a Mum-Ra mask. I could turn into a Mum-Ra. And I have an orc mask that I could turn into Mum-Ra's other form. A lot of him is just paint.
Thor says, the power of the monster.
Yes.
Dude says, a lot of work to get the clay out of the mold. Strength, Mr. Rube.
Yeah, Rue.
I'm fiddling with it way more than I need to be. I'm just saying.
Third Group Terror says, Alan
Literally.
wants the never-ending sadness.
Only playing with pulling the clay out of the mandibles, which I could just I could be spraying. I just choked on my own. Come.
Sidara says that scene with the horse devastated me as a child.
Is that Artax?
Artax.
Yeah.
I have to say, it was
Yeah,
Artax.
an hour and a half of that. Like, make that scene an hour and a half long.
Michael Astor says, you guys heard Universal is making another Wolfman?
With Ryan Gosling. Someone told me 8 minutes ago.
Apparently.
And I got four emails on it today.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm Wolfman. I'm Wolfman heavy.
Wolfman, yeah. Dan Miles says, the Wolfman Never-Ending Story was the only part I really liked. HBK Styles says, have you ever made the Batman cowl?
No, I have not. So this is gonna, like, you just watched me pull a Beastman out of the mold. I don't do a lot of licensed characters. One of the reasons why I did Beastman is I loved him ever since I was a kid. And I can turn that into a werewolf, I can turn that into an orc, I can do a lot of things with that mask that isn't Beastman. Am I gonna make a Beastman costume and just wear it around the house? Probably. But I can do other things with that mask.
Hey, Alan, look under that bag over there.
Merman is under that mask. And Merman is under that because we're doing an underwater theme at dark hours, so it fits in.
Jared Collins says, hi, no Shannon tonight, just to Stacey and a Rue.
Yes.
John C says, were you annoyed by the hibernating mummy form of Mumra?
No. I mean, I actually thought it was kind of cool that he was able to do that. I did think it was excessive in Silverhawks when Monstar kind of followed the same formula. Monstar. He was their big bad, and he did the exact same thing.
David Brown says, have you ever watched the alien autopsy video? This fall in our home, we're doing a mirror opposite. Aliens doing an autopsy on a kid.
That's fun. One of the first ideas that I had for video mapping that I haven't done yet is, you know how autopsy rooms are set up and there's always like a surgical lamp like right on the body? Put a projector in that. So your whole autopsy happens as mapping.
Yeah.
Digital mapping, yeah, exactly. So you skew it, the person lays in that same spot every time for the group, but then the doctor can actually run his hand down and you see the wound show up. You see, if he moves quickly, you can see him make the other cuts and then pretend to peel it back, and you see all of that happen right in front of you. I just thought that would be a good use for digital mapping.
John Speak says, a new animated He-Man is coming out.
Yes, Kevin Smith, who I had no idea I was even friends with him on Facebook until like he liked something, and I'm like, and then someone else saw that.
Messaging each other.
Someone else saw that and was like, "You're friends with Kevin Smith?" I'm like,
That is cool.
"Yeah, who's?" I don't. Clerks? What? I don't know. I don't watch. Didn't have any monsters or sword fighting.
Oh, dear Kevin Smith, you're watching this. Thank you.
Yeah,
I think you're awesome
For what?
for making really cool art.
Later, I found out he tells really funny stories.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And sometimes he has a podcast
Yeah.
that lasts for
Smodcast.
3 hours long, and they go off on a crazy tangent of a story.
We
And
can
then they
base-
just turn it into a movie, because why not?
We could basically
We
just,
do that except for turn it into a movie.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, like, this podcast is not too terribly different from just recording us in the shop.
All right.
That's where the movie Tusk came from.
I have done something. I really enjoyed Tusk.
I did too.
Chad Smith says, oh my god, you just gave me an idea for my hospital haunt. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Giving out ideas like candy.
Jared
Ideas are the
Smith.
easy part. Getting it done is the hard part.
Immigration powers, ROUS, I don't believe they exist.
Apparently, the CDC is warning people about larger, more aggressive rats than normal.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe that.
Nice. I don't believe they exist.
He says, ancient spirits of evil transform this decaying body to Mumra, the ever-living.
Mumra, the ever living. Yeah, that's good
Look
stuff.
into my eyes, they stare.
I
God,
wonder
they
if the
hypnotize your mind with bother.
What's that from?
That was Mumra's sidekick, the little hypnotizy eye guy.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to keep that in the same universe as the She-Ra.
No, they're not.
No.
And actually, Kevin Smith's series will not feature He-Man. It'll feature Teela.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. was a little bit before my time.
Yes.
I got a little bit of Thundercats. He says Snarf was voted one of the most annoying sidekicks ever.
He was the Scrappy Doo of after school cartoons.
John C says, I want to see a Mum-Ra transform
Like the angry Mum-Ra? Yeah.
Chad Smith says, do the Corona stuff I'm going to do an asylum this year also. Good for kind of thing.
Cool. Could be neat. Could be terrible. Prepare to be judged.
Could be off-putting.
That would be off-putting. That stuff is delicious.
Right?
Pudding.
All right, so I made the boo-boo of not putting on pry points before I mixed up my plaster. And I did it after Vaseline, so they're harder to stick on once you Vaseline something. But we squeezed it in time.
Nothing to see here.
Stars are.
I have enough here to coat my goats.
Wow.
That was
Stacy lasted more than 5 seconds. It's a terrible joke.
This is my favorite kind of jokes. Chad says, Alan, I got your back on the monster, but you are making it easy. Lonnie Mask says, looking good.
I forgot. I tried to hide it. Thank you. Thanks for following the bro code, not ratting me out as the man or the
Next
low
Andy
man.
says, next YouTube Wednesday, how to sculpt a monster koozie out of latex.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know who the guy is that makes those, like the
Oh,
monster
monster
can
puppets.
puppets. Like,
Oh yeah, those are
I love
awesome.
that guy.
He's got a PBR one that I just I want it so bad.
Such a good sir.
I am not.
Next one, he says, monster koozie
I
like
liked
monkey
PBR
arms.
before it was cool.
Said like a hipster. Lonnie Mask asks, are there any teeth in this sculpt?
Right now, they're obsessed with teeth. There are no teeth in this. I'm going to do the teeth at a later time. And, I have areas where the teeth will be glued to make it easy. But I did not put teeth in it because I want to have a bunch of different versions of this. In many of them, you won't see the eye. In some of them, you will see the eye.
Chad Smith says, have you heard anything new on NHC? I never received an email about possible boot camp.
No, I have not heard anything either. It would be very hard for them to pull it off right now. That's what's tough. And Chicago will not let it happen. They did announce that they are postponing / canceling their big escape room event, which was supposed to happen either right before or right after MHC. So we know that that one is postponed or canceled, and I know they're working on it for MHC. They're trying to figure out what they can do. Because they're in a position where they want to do something. They haven't seen their friends all year. They understand that it is a big networking opportunity for the industry. And honestly, for the industry, they want something to happen. So, and I believe that they're trying to do it even at a financial detriment to themselves, Transworld. At this point, it is not about money for them.
John C. says there used to be an asylum in Monster Halloween House by me that transformed year to year, year by year, to completely blood and gore extreme, and they closed it down.
Yeah, if you go too far in one direction, that happens.
Nice, and he says just up the road in Hardin, the guy that invented Bubba Teeth became a millionaire.
Yep.
Bubba Teeth.
So again, I'm not putting on the latex, the plaster, and spreading it around. I'm loading up my brush and I'm letting it just come off the brush. I'm dabbing it on,
Ray, are
and
you watching? Did you see that?
didn't happen. Dabbing it on, not spreading it around. Because I want it to go on thick. There's no point in me putting it on and then thinning it out right away. I did remember to turn down my notifications today. You're welcome.
Newman Brown asks, in a pinch, can you substitute cotton cloth strips in place of burlap?
You could go without it. It's fine without it. And I would not do cotton cloth. Well, you could probably do something like cheesecloth, but most fabric has a very tight weave, and that tight weave is going to hold air. And if air in your mold is a bad thing, what's good about the burlap is it's got a nice big loose weave, then you can really saturate that with plastic. And it makes kind of a net like a rebar. I would not go like a broadcloth or something like that.
Next day he says there was a haunt for adults in St. Louis area that featured mature acts. They got shut down.
Yes, there was a time when I went and I guest acted at a haunted house, and everybody who went with me, they went to that haunted house. That was the last year it was open.
They won't have earphones. Paul Bennett says, got a question. Sock mask. The sock itself is supposed to be tight with mask or loose? And this is Paul, so let me see your piece.
The whole point of a sock mask is for it to fit tightly and really be snug on your face. You want it to fit. You don't want to have to add straps. So the way to not add straps is to have the sock mask fit and hold tightly. How goes the cleaning room? At this point, are you just avoiding the power washer?
No. I always try and get 90% out before I try and spray it. I don't know why. It's probably a terrible one.
Chad Smith says, I really hope this doesn't happen, but if your state prevents you from opening dark art, will you do any traveling to states that are open to guest act or just visit other haunts?
So, if the state doesn't allow dark hour to open, I would probably go and visit the haunted houses that I have trained at over the years via the van, and bring a core of actors with me who wanted to go. And we would guest act and play at someone else's show.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
Like, it would be a huge bummer if dark hour was not able to open.
Well, and it's not just the state. I mean, because we have, there's legalities that we have to worry about too, above and beyond. Maybe state regulations say we can be open, but it still might not be a good idea for us.
Yeah.
I was actually just saying the other day that if for some reason it didn't open, I would definitely go nomad for the season.
Hands down, absolutely.
Rare chance.
Chad says, that would be so much fun for you guys. Ezekiel says, bring you down under, we'll be open for sure.
Soul.
Yeah, you guys are back in school. That's awesome.
I mean, it's almost June, like, I feel like that's, I mean, their school year runs about the same as ours, so does it?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
But it's
I've
winter
been-
there right now,
I've
right?
been wrong once before.
Ezekiel, how does your school system work? When
Yeah, when do they get, do
when
they have
do kids go to
do
school?
they have a winter break?
It's Christmas break in the summer.
Has anyone asked you to make a custom virus mask for Halloween? Maybe some kind of monster nose / mouth?
Yes, I was asked to make that very early on. I did not like their concept, so I did not do it.
Hugo says, I go to Dark Hour. I'd love to know about her. Fantastic. Hugo's in Brazil,
Yes.
so maybe some things there. Ezekiel says we have a summer break in December, 2-week break in July.
Summer break.
But my favorite Christmas song ever is Tim Minchin's White Wine in the Sun. This is Australian. That's when they have
In the summer, in the city.
Brian Lippert says, just made my first order from your website, Alan.
Oh, what'd you order? Unless it's weird.
Or unless you don't want.
Yeah, maybe you don't people know.
Rich McGrath says, I finished my demon pig today. I used the same mold as the death pig. I put horns and different ears on it. Sweet.
That is awesome. I love to see more artists doing that and having more imagination with masks they've already produced.
Kind of this cheap one too.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Little holy hope. Backseat mold in here.
Yeah. That's fine. You know what? The more eyes are on it, the less I'm going to miss.
Robin Hood says, have you had to escort any customers for not following rules?
Oh yeah, I got the kick one out. I got the kick one out last year. Yes, you do. We had one light up a joint in the haunted house. He lit up
This
a
guy
joint.
caught
And
it.
he didn't even share.
Remember?
Yeah, well, you let me know, then I grabbed it and pulled it out of the show.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
I was like,
What's funny is guests, they think that they're like really lost in a haunted house, and they have no idea that we know exactly when they should be walking by, where they came from, and where they're headed to next. But they, in their brain, they're in a maze, so no one knows where they are. So they can do whatever. Yeah, and that's just not the case.
at all.
Brian says, White Krampus on the order.
Oh, cool. Fun.
Chad Smith says, a lot of stupid people out there.
There are.
So.
I got a call. Well, I happened to be sitting in dispatch where all of our security cameras are when an actor said, you know, this guy's kind of going nuts and he's punching props in the face and he took a swing at actors. So I like open a curtain to peek on his group, and I watch him reach up and grab a pipe off the wall and break it. So I kind of grabbed him and carried him outside. Whoop.
You don't get to be an inside dog anymore.
And it was especially fun when I was Carl, and I would be outside in the line, and I would tell somebody not to do something, and they would kind of laugh at me, and then, you know, security would talk to them, and they'd be like, well, you know, whoever's in charge, and they would just kind of point to Carl because I was in charge, but I didn't look like it.
Carl's in charge would be the most hilarious, like, TV shows.
Oh yeah. For the record, the parody of that theme song is already written.
Oh, I enjoy that. That's good. How's the song going, Ezekiel? Michael Astor says it's okay, he works here.
Exactly. For those of you guys who don't know, Carl is a character that I play at haunted houses that is, he's not good.
He's special.
Yeah, he murders children because they're easier to carry and you can fit more in the van.
And nobody wants to make more than one trip. You know?
Right. Yeah.
John C. says, anybody destroying props becomes a surprisingly lifelike prop.
Well, I'm not like legally allowed to do that or tell you about it if I did.
read that goosebumps. Ross Richard said, oops, Rob broke it again. Sean Rayo says, Dent Schoolhouse did a version with their main character, Charlie. Says, song's in good shape, was hoping for some more contributors ASAP. Probably enough to get it done in the next week. Y'all go drop a line for that, the Facebook group.
So weird.
Ezekiel, I used to play in a parody band in school, so I was like, yes, now is my time.
That was my time. Well, you did like half of the song. I did the opening line.
I dropped it
and then
first.
it was like
Sorry.
everybody else after that.
Okay, it's time for Mo Plaster.
Ezekiel says they wrote to 4 songs behind the scenes. We're not going to still be
Oh, yeah.
album.
Old Nick
It's going to be
Bottle.
so weird.
No one will get the joke.
No one will get the jokes. Like super niche Weird Al.
Okay, my bucket is clean. My mind is clean. I'm energized for the task ahead of me. By my will alone, I set my mind at motion.
Caffeine alone.
What?
By caffeine alone, I set my mind.
Yeah.
Ezekiel says we have something super special happening top secret. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Old Nick Bondle.
No, no.
No, Rue, no. You don't talk about old McDonald.
When we're not on air, remind me about the, yeah,
Old Nick Bondle.
yes. When we're not live. Ross Richard says, like Britney Spears, oops, I did it again.
There's really not a lot to remind, considering that pretty much all of it.
Yeah, DM Cash says, I love children when they were prepared properly, W.C. Fields. Ezekiel says, McFondle's done. Cobweb sent through lyrics. It's a happening thing. Oh my
Nice.
God.
Oh, nose.
No, ear, nose, ear, nose.
Eat eyes, toes.
Yeah.
Oh. I know for that bit.
You're all coming.
Like, no, she said, shut up and get the vessel degrees from Stacey. You're going straight to the
Okay.
Andy Hill, singing shadow dancing. Oh, Ezekiel even played it on a banjo. Oh my goodness.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
And Big Dog decided Facebook now sent friends request for Facebook page. You know,
Wow, that's awesome, bud.
come to the Facebook
Glad to have
side.
you. Alexa, countdown 2 minutes.
You are
Second
confirmed,
timer,
Big
2
Dog.
minutes, starting now.
confirm among those. Me too.
Alexa, I would like you to explain yourself.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Nick Creeder captured your dad.
Oh, how did they do that?
He screenshotted it.
What is he waiting? He's just sitting there waiting.
Wow. Nice.
That's delightful.
I had one screw up where I put like a Lady Mardi Gras, and there's filters and stuff on there, and yeah, I messed up.
Big Dog went dinner, he's back now. Nice mix is using the Allen method of plaster mixing. Silent but efficient, unlike Rue's bongo solo technique.
He has to conjure up the spirit of what was Lucy's husband's name? Ricky Ricardo. Every time he mixes a batch of plaster.
Big Dog says, shh, don't tell anyone.
It won't.
Richard Powell says, my Alexa just said thanks you. Thanks, I like you too.
Well, it's good to form a bond between you and your Alexa.
I'm sorry.
Says, we're on the Facebook page, Ezekiel. Yeah. Yeah, renew your call for lyrics on the Facebook page. We'll get you.
And Big Dog, are you on vacation right now? Did I hear that right? You're on vacation?
Nick says, just a heads up, you can scrub back to any point of the video.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Yup. Caught that dab.
Terrible. Never should have dabbed.
We did talk
I know a
Travis
few
out of
people that
it
have said
in the lip sync for the Nosferatu.
Oh, was he gonna dab?
Nosferatu.
Oh yeah, that was
We
was
did it
sick.
a little bit, but not nearly as much as he wanted. We talked about the middle finger, we talked about that.
Yeah, we
I
talked
like
about
the
the middle finger and part of that.
Brandon D says if you spin on your chair enough, you get the weekend. Alright, first off, not Shannon tonight, still a Stacy. Also, no. But soon. 1980 says Baba Root. Big Doc says yes, he is on vacation.
Well, okay.
Watching us on vacation.
I will be on vacation
Terrible vacation.
this weekend at my parents' place.
Mhm.
We'll be back on Monday or Tuesday.
You think sucky vacations?
Well, considering that, like I leave the house and come here.
Right.
That's literally all I've done for like 3 months. Kind of excited about one of the parents' house. It's cool. But the internet there is spotty, so I may or may not be on.
Okay. Now, there's just a few spots where it's a little thin, like I didn't get 2 coats on this over here. So I'm gonna hit this, and then I should be on burlap fabric here very soon. Any place there's like excessive clumpiness, if that makes a little cavern, I want to fill that cavern with this very liquid plaster right now, so that I don't have any air bubbles in there.
Big Doc says, what phone do you want me to use for a master to send to you?
Just something like a 3-pound flexible foam is fine.
Brandon says, I just got here. Sorry, I'm getting hot wings and my photo's looking so good. Hey, Stacy, spin until you get sick, please. Aye.
There you
Listen, I only do crazy kind of crap like that for money.
Right. Don't
$20.
say that, because they would do it. Don't do that.
1980 says TV lesson, history lesson for Stacy. Babalu was the song that Ricky sang in the manga. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, about the-
Yeah. In context, now that makes sense.
Yeah.
Out of context, I was missing a little.
Yeah, she doesn't get He-Man references because she's too young. So I Love Lucy references pretty much right out.
That's not true. I watched quite a bit of I Love Lucy, but Ross Richard said, here's a good parody song, Teenage Text Plan.
I had one written for Carl that was sexy and you know it. And anytime it said, girl look at that body, it was, girl look at that body, girl look at that body. Yeah, it was fun.
Hugo says, I was supposed to go to California, Fremont, in November to visit a company EFI corporate. I don't know what's going to happen. My God, who knows the monster camp can happen.
Yeah. We will keep you abreast of monster camp situations. Whenever Ezekiel comes to the country, it seems like he plans a tour. You know, he's like, well, I'm here this week, and then next week I'm going to go to California and see that. I'm going to Vegas to see that.
1980 says TikTok has a lot of Lucy quotes as audio. I'm not quite TikTok yet. I mean, I have a TikTok. I did a TikTok.
I deleted my TikTok. I took TikTok off my phone. It wasn't showing me what I wanted to see.
A 14-year-old was very amused with my TikTok efforts.
Yeah.
I will say, that's a pretty sophisticated video editor for being a free, like, thing you can download on your phone. Like, Brandon B. says, Ross thinking of Bob O'Reilly? Yeah.
Tip of the mandible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Drew has gotten the tip of one of the mandibles out.
Teenage
I know it wasn't recognizable to you, but that was That's the hard one.
One of Rob's first nights here had him cleaning out a bowl, and he just had a pile of clay going, and I would send him in the other room to get me stuff, and every time he would leave, I'd pick up a handful of clay and put it back in the bowl. But the other one?
I think I might have just got the other one.
Oh
Not
my
quite
god,
positive.
not quite the whole
Yeah.
thing there, but a bit of the tip. Big Dog says, went to California, got back yesterday. In-N-Out Burgers on the coast, saw water, and there were hardly anyone on the road.
90%?
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Chad Smith says, I can't stand TikTok. My kids are on it all the damn time.
It's a time killer for sure.
Oh, it
can
definitely
be.
will eat your life.
I'm sure it can be.
I do not have it.
Ezekiel says, every song is a parody if you dare. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a thing. 1980 says, just a tip.
Thank you, 1980. That'll be all.
Weird Al made an entire career out of it. Any song can be a parody.
I like some of his versions better than the real version.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Most.
1980 says, every bad division starts with just a tip.
That doesn't make any sense to me. That might be a joke that's too smart for me, or it could be a typo.
Little column.
It's small. No pressure washing. I could run this right now.
Let's see. Finish cleaning it out, run it.
Squeak.
It's 8:30. You got time for 2 hours. You hustle.
Ross Richard says, Kurt Cobain loved Smells Like Teen Spirit. I assume he means
The song.
the Weird Al version.
Smells like, what is it? It's not smoke. What is it?
Oh, Brennan,
Weird Al
apparently you did not need your notifications.
I thought I muted them. So let me see what's happening.
Those are your notifications.
Oh, notifications were almost muted.
Almost.
So they were very quiet notifications.
And yet, so far.
There we go.
Pretty easily just do a cleaning full.
19
Yeah, just run it.
is autocorrect.
Bad decision. Every bad decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starts with just a tip. Ain't that the truth?
Good job, Rue. Silence is golden, man. Your silence is especially golden.
My jokes are especially bad.
I'm sorry, it's in my nature to tee them up like that, but
Hey, Rob would have just said it.
Brandon says, you're on the big screen now, that means surround sound. You're all real life size, oh god.
Woohoo!
Look, the camera adds 10 pounds, okay?
Yeah,
But there's several cameras in the room.
yeah, that's it. What she said.
Dan Miles says, odd question, what are those things hanging on the wall under your TV?
Markers. Those are Sharpie markers. Yeah. You want to pull a marker and show folks?
Oh, show.
Let me just slide back up in there. I'll point down, because Alan likes to cater to my OCD.
Matters not to me. It's fine.
Just keep them fresh.
Oh, but me. Daisy and I have the OCDs.
I don't actually have OCD. I am particular about how I like to store my Sharpies though. Dan says, ah. Hugo says, very cool.
Okay, I have, very minor.
I have major ADHD. But that has no impact on the sharks, other than that I lose them a lot. Thank you, Scott, for sharing the Still Studios shop link.
Hooray!
Shop our stuff. Khajiit has wares. You have call. Chad Smith says, 60, how many colors do you have in your hair? Currently, 3. Purple, red, and my natural mud.
Mud?
Big Dog asks, how come there's only 38 likes? Yeah, guys.
How come there's only 38 likes?
There's only 63 people on tonight, so it's actually a lighter night.
Smash that like button, y'all.
It's a lighter
Friday
night. What I think is,
obviously.
well, I think that people are going out a little more.
Alright, fair enough.
Sure.
1980 says, when you hand someone a crayon or marker because they aren't a Sharpie.
Ma, ma, ma.
Had you not told me who was saying that, I would have told you who said that.
Need to refresh my purple.
So I thought on the Creepers group, someone promised a shrimp mask.
Yeah, I saw
It did
that.
sound like someone promised a shrimp
Somebody
mask.
had said this. I saw it.
Let me see. We did this.
And I did once build a lobster costume for someone. And it now takes pictures with people who get off of cruise ships in Belize.
I know a secret, you know. Secrets.
I don't know secrets.
No.
I don't know secrets.
Top secret.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Third grade terror says, how did the beast mode pull come out?
I think pretty good. He's sitting over there. Maybe Rue will stop messing with that mold
Never.
in preparation to pour it up because he's ready to pour it up and he's still poking at it. And spin the camera and show you the beast mode.
Oh.
Big Dog says, yes, went out to dinner
Yeah.
and then got back on. Chad Smith says, a ton of teasing going on with that shrimp mask.
Oh, I'm ready, man. I want to see it.
Ezekiel says, wasn't me, but I did see that too. Thank you, Scott, for sharing my haunted pen dresses page. Brandon says, Rue, did you have any turtle while in Belize?
I did not have any turtle while in Belize. No turtle. I don't think. I don't know. I ate a lot of chicken and a lot of
Chicken.
yeah, a lot of chicken and a lot of red beans and rice, or sand and pebbles, as they call it.
Beast mode.
I can't see.
Because it doesn't have eye holes or air holes cut in it yet.
No.
This is how. That looks so awesome, though. Oh, I can't wait for it to be orange.
Ooh, it does look cool. Chad Smith says, how many layers of burlap do you think is a good amount to shoot for on holes?
I'm gonna do 2 or 3 on mine.
Yeah, that looks good.
Robin Hood says, Alan, you have been playing in that mud a long time now. How is that possible? My plaster would have turned to concrete by now. Do you have a trick in mixing the brew?
This is the second batch. I use cooler water, so I have a little bit of working time. And it is thickening. I'm also using Ultra-Cal. Hydrocal tends to kick a little faster. Ultra-Cal gives you a little more working time than Hydrocal. And other than that, that's it. But also, I'm going about what I do very deliberate, very, it doesn't look like I'm moving fast, but I'm actually working pretty fast. I have a turtle racing strategy where I don't look like I'm working like crazy, but I'm working like crazy.
Jerry Collins asked what Rue's doing. What's Rue doing?
Cleaning out a mold. You have to run a mold.
Grants is very cool. Big Dog says,
Literally,
it's
right now, I'm about to run a mold.
Dead End Yard Hunt says the shrimp mask is coming. I must tame the beast before I let it out of the cage.
Rue, you want to take the camera with you?
Okay.
They'd like to see the first pour of Full Murder Jacket happen.
Robin Hood.
Watch me overfill the mold and spill it all over the place and make a mess.
So, Robin Hood, have you watched before? I don't recognize that screen name.
Rachel Powell says the things that are listed on the website as blanks but don't have a finished counterpart. Do you ever sell those as finished pieces like the old man /
Absolutely. I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. And like not all of them have I had a chance to do. So most of the blanks were added to the website as soon as Transworld canceled because I was going to bring a big tub full of blanks to sell at Transworld. And then Transworld didn't happen, so my wife incorporated all the blanks into the website. And once she incorporated all the blanks into the website, I did not necessarily have a finished counterpart for her to take pictures of for all the other blanks. That was, yes, I do. That's the answer to your question. I do.
Robin Hood says yes.
Okay.
Does that mean
Yes, you're
Yes, you watched
you do,
before.
or yes, you watched?
Right, yeah.
Okay. Brandy says I want the inbred shrimp.
Inbred shrimp.
Food Shack SPFX says good show, you all. Have a good night and fun night. Good and fun night.
Why? Thank you. I intend to.
Rich Powell says, awesome, I'm seriously considering an old woman done with all the glamour makeup. I think the juxtaposition would make her almost a you.
Cool.
Dan Miles says, I can't wait to see the barber's wife. I don't remember seeing you ever do a female character.
I've done a couple. It's hard. It's hard for me. I ain't gonna lie.
Some witches.
Yeah, I've done some witches.
The old inbred gal.
Yeah,
That was a fairly recent line.
that was the old woman. Yeah. So I don't. Yeah. And so if you want to see that done in somewhat glam makeup, I did. That was an old woman.
That is Mimi from, like...
Yeah, I did almost the Drew Carey Mimi makeup on her.
Welcome back, Cowboys to Candlesticks.
Yay, grab the tape.
This is old McFondle's wife.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh.
No. It's
So
gonna be a thing now.
So every time I go to start a live video, YouTube asks me, is this made for kids? And I think of you all, and I say no.
Absolutely not.
Someone posted on Facebook, they were angry at some store. They're like, this store's going to lose my business. They won't. They have a two kid maximum. You can't bring more than 2 children in the store with you. They're going to lose my business. No, it was you can't bring children in the store with you.
Yeah.
No children.
Yeah.
And everybody was kind of angry with them. And I posted, I would pay extra. If restaurants had a no children night, that's when I would go eat out. If Walmart had like no kids Wednesdays, I'm down. That's when I do my shopping.
Chad
Ditto.
says we're all a bunch of haunt juveniles.
Thank you.
Sometimes.
1980 asks, are you going to do the farmer's wife?
I will, absolutely. That is a commission. I have to do it. I will do it. It is working and into my rotation.
Cowboys and Candlesticks says the Lottery's package kids.
Yeah. Those are the best ones.
They're called bars.
You have a baby in a bar.
All right, am I gonna go?
Did you pour it
One
out?
of them, I haven't poured it.
Okay.
I blew it out.
Okay, steal them up. I'm gonna mix me some plaster and do this one more time.
You
Brandy
I'm
says
stealing
you
you to
sell
come
license anytime. No kids.
dump latex into a mold. I was like grown up today at Biddy too. I got the whole 50-pound bag of Ultra Cal and the 5-gallon latex bucket. I didn't buy the small ones. Yay! Alright, gang. I know. Stacey's alone in there. I don't know what's going on. She's singing to herself. That's one part.
1980 says make sure the farmer isn't home.
By the way, there might be a problem here. I have no idea which ones of these actually have latex in them.
Sarah says, wow, look at all those pores.
What do you guys think I do all day? Just hang out?
That one does.
Thor says, just make sure the farmer's not home.
Ooh, that's bubbly.
Thank you.
But yeah, that was me. I
See,
turned
it
off
says
the
they didn't
compressor.
let me keep the tube, and I was in the surgery room, so I couldn't swipe any tongue compressors to mix rigid foam.
Oh, cobwebs.
Chad Smith says, if that was my mold, I'd probably wind up with air bubbles everywhere.
That is why we gotta start. When we pour, we're gonna pour from here and let it slowly fill everything.
Why don't you pour it up on a table?
Because it's
Reasons.
hard to just clean up the spill in case.
Don't spill. You're pouring pouring it into a bucket.
Hugo says, very cool to create a plaster mold. Master Allen makes it easy.
It is easy. I just have a lot of practice at it. It's not difficult. It takes a little bit of practice.
All right, we're moving up on the table.
Candlestick says you can pour from one mold into another.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Anybody ready for a pour out in there?
No.
No.
They're already pulled almost everything in there.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, gang. Do the nice, slow, smooth
Is that
method
getting in the earlier?
so that we don't get the air bubbles.
Yeah.
All right here, and then one more layer for like.
You gotta at some point know this guy do a big long one. He looks very,
Could do a long
and he looks so angry, like he's such a fun long
and then show to the butcher shop.
You gotta work on an appetite can't with the old
Protest stuff outside of
Now these mandibles are what I'm really worried about on trying to let them fill properly, because that's the place that if I'm gonna get an air bubble in this mask, that is where it is going to be. So I gotta let those pour slowly and fill up from the bottom forward so that they don't trap.
Kirsten Davis says
Bubbles.
hello.
Hello.
Hello, Kristen Davis.
There we go. And those officially filled with out bowls. And just about everything else on this I don't have to worry about too many bubbles.
Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have 38 minutes left on your 1 hour and 30-minute timer.
Killing it.
Yeah. How about the Candlesticks asks, can you stop and switch the latex around the mold?
I can. I didn't have to.
CS Creation says, good evening, friends.
I'm going to a little bit here.
1980 says you need to put in a little and then switch it around. I mean, that's really for if you've got a big like, undercut area.
Yeah, if you have big undercuts and such,
Get bubbles out, right?
you do. But this is so smooth and cupped together on everything that I could just fill it from the bottom and then it'll come up and cover everything.
You know the drill.
I do. Because I found while I was going through and cleaning out my Google
What?
storage.
I actually need to get a little bit more latex.
Oh yeah.
I did list that I have experience in filtering and slush casting. 1980 says there will be air in the horizontal ridges.
And did you do?
Yes.
Okay, they're probably will be. Did you
This mask doesn't have a lot of those.
makeup? How come you never wanted to go to the makeup team?
We have a lot of very talented people who are already doing it, and I mean, my thought on this has always been that I'm willing to go wherever they need me. You guys need more people to make up to the car. I don't have.
I'm
any
big on
real airbrush
pouring
experience, so
slowly,
this is the primary-
as
yeah.
composed, as opposed to trying to get latex
Well, yeah.
places it doesn't want to go. If it'll flow nicely and get there in the first place, you don't have to worry about it.
Hugo says, excellent, Mr. Rue. Third degree of terror says, Rue, you're so patient with your pores. I'm impressed. Brandon D says, you're a horizontal ridge.
If you pour slowly, then that helps eliminate air bubbles if your mold is shaped correctly. Because you're allowing the latex to push the air out.
Yeah, what he just said. Also, what I just said.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you dump it in there, then obviously you're going to get a bunch of bubbles.
It's back on you.
Hooray.
But yeah, during that 5
Kind
years
of.
we were doing the haunted hayride, costuming, makeup, set design, but that's all me. Dan Miles says, how do you know when you need...
Ever consider about doing makeup?
Dan Miles says, how do you know when you need plastic wrap on the top of your pour?
If it starts skinning, if you don't want a skin to form over top of it, is basically how it is, and that's going to help you prevent a skin from happening. Hello, Bella.
Cowboy Candlestick says, are you going to brush the lip with latex so you have some flash?
No, I wouldn't. If you don't need flash, then I wouldn't. I mean, you're going to get some when you pour it out, because you're going to pour it over that ridge. There's no way to get it out, just like magically lift it up and get it out. When you pour it, you're going to get flash on one side to start your pull.
Oh, that's why you need flash to start the pull?
It's a little harder without it, but mine are thick. I do thick masks, so no, I don't have that
I
problem.
was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen anything that felt like, no, this needs a tab on it.
Alexa, set a timer for 2 hours.
There you go, third degree of terror. Yes, we are going to start a timer on the full burger jacket. Oh, well. Brandy says, what happens with all the latex in the mold? Does it get dumped and refilled, thus gradually thickening the latex along the mold wall?
Well, the latex that gets thicker sticks to the plaster, so that doesn't go back in the bucket. The only thing that goes in the bucket is latex that is not plaster contaminated because you poured it out.
So yes.
It doesn't necessarily thicken what's in the bucket,
Right.
but time and heat does. So,
We don't really slosh a lot around this shop.
yeah, slush casting is mostly done by folks who don't have enough money or don't have enough latex to fill the mold all the way up. Dwelling is how most mask companies make masks. Slushing is much smaller scale, and it is not as predictable.
Chad says, any chance of getting a beast mode paint video this weekend?
Absolutely. A very high chance.
Guarantee that.
Your forecast is sunny with a chance of beast mode. Probably two
Alan
chances of beast mode.
Helen will not be able to resist that chance.
Yeah. Yeah, we got into slush casting because a friend of mine is a Star Trek cosplayer, and for a long time, I don't know if it's still a thing, but for a long time, you could not buy, or no one was allowed to sell Cardassian and
Paramount, very protective of their licensing on Star Trek.
yeah. So she was like, "Look, I'm doing this Cardassian character, and I need to have scales and face." And I was like, "Yeah, we'll figure it out. Come
Your
on,
face has scales.
your mom has scales."
I just realized that about 2 blocks away from Amy's house, there's a Star Trek lane.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Drove by it today.
Shannon's excited about the beast mode paint up. So say we all. Chad Smith says that knife works really well. Where did you pick that up from?
This is a old Milwaukee knife. It is a Klaus titanium knife. Klaus titanium, and I believe at one time, this is my old Milwaukee knife, and that's why I was confused. This is a really good knife too. It's just not serrated.
It's like a Ginsburg.
I use this for foam and for cutting the burlap that way. This is a Klaus titanium knife. This side is flat and this side has those serrations.
Brandon D says, Stacy, do you find your English background helpful now? Words are cool. Ish. I mean, I don't know where the line falls between my English background and my like improv acting background. So like I can come up with scripts on the fly. If I'm an actor trainer in Dark Hour, and one of the things that I do is work with actors on lines to try and come up with things for them to say in their character. But I don't know if that's my English background or improv acting.
Not that kind of old Milwaukee.
Yeah, Big Dog says the knife came from Shannon's kitchen. CS Creations is from the kitchen when he sent in one of his minions to steal it from the wife.
No, that's my knife. I buy knives too.
Dead and nervous. I didn't know beer companies made knives. Dean Cash says, is latex hydroscopic? Does plaster absorb the moisture?
The plaster absorbs the moisture.
Chad Smith says, way to rat him out, Big Dog. Big Dog says, Shannon's not on. Brandon said, I didn't know you did improv. You're a lively one, and that stands out. Yeah, I did improv for years, both in like training classes and also in a troupe formed at ACON for a bunch of years. I was the trademark girl in the group. When their old girl in the group retires.
Shannon's favorite bread knife she uses for Chicago deep dish. Oh, now I'm craving pizza.
There's a roller for that.
Right?
I haven't had pizza all week. I'm dying.
Is that your limit? You can go 1 week without pizza?
Oh, I'm surprised I could go more than 2 days without pizza.
Well, right over there, by Mario's Pizza. Really good.
Thank you for like Scott Colehart for the cost.
Marco's? Oh, Marco's.
Chad Smith says, I don't think Alan would touch that knife, the deep dish pizza knife.
No.
That's a special knife.
Woman must have her tools.
Where are the clubs? Scott, you are awesome.
He is the man.
That's right, it is. Boss. Quick on the draw. Now that resources sheet that we've got, I may look at migrating that over to a copying over, and organizing it in some sort of maybe alphabetical manner. Put that on the Facebook group so we can have
Well, and
like a
what
resources tab.
what I need is time to sit at a computer,
Yeah.
and then I would set up my Amazon affiliate stuff because it's on me now because Shannon doesn't know everything that I use.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I should do is I should just give all that information to Scott because he has links for it all anyway.
Delegate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, "Okay, your Amazon store's set up. Here's all the crap you tell me to post links for." Thanks,
He
Scott.
says, new Still shirt, a woman must have her tools. Yes, I have a mighty need. Make that shirt.
A woman must have her tools. That's true.
Brandon D says, is Chicago deep dish a casserole, pie, quiche, open-faced sandwich? Question mark.
No, it's Chicago deep dish
It's pizza, man.
from Chicago.
It's
It's
kind
pizza.
of like a casserole.
It's casserole-esque,
Yeah.
but I don't want you to disparage its name by calling it casserole.
Shannon is on.
What?
I said.
Shannon says, thanks, God. I thought it was I saw. Those are kitchen knives. Awesome. Big Dog said had round table in California, so good, all meat.
Ted Haynes turned me on to that knife. He was talking about foam work, and he was making something, and I asked what that knife was because it was going through upholstery foam like nobody's business. It's wonderful for that. So.
DM Cash says, so a 5-gallon bucket is stable after you expose it to air? Latex.
It's going to start to, if you are really worried about your latex, then what you'll want to do is put a garbage bag over the top of it and press it down up against that level of latex. Even the air in the bucket will start that latex down the road of curing.
Is it just Texas? My brain immediately went, treat it like guacamole.
You treat it like guacamole. Yes, exactly. Put that plastic bag right down to the edge and press it on. But do not do like the workers at the subway where I work, where they put the plastic wrap over it and they would smash their face into it. And it would leave their face impression
Of course. Yeah.
in the, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Thor says, shh, mom's on.
Yeah.
Third grade terrorist. Quick, everyone chat natural. Shannon's watching. Cowboy with Kale 6 says, Queen of Creepers. Nice. Big Dog says, she's watching cat videos. How can she be on YouTube? CS Creation says, she's making sure Alan doesn't have too many Coke Zeros.
YouTube has a lot of cat videos.
1980 says, I had Giano's deep dish pizza in Chicago by Midway Airport. That was way too much pizza for 4 of us. We made the mistake of ordering 2.
Haha, you fool.
Chad Smith says, that knife's only $24. Not bad. Have you ever had to sharpen it out?
No, I've never sharpened it.
I think when we went there, how many pizzas did we go through that night, just our group?
Oh, God. Like,
We had 5 at our table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I only took 2 slices home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That China guy got the small ones.
Turns
That
out
2 each.
the
And we're like,
group
oh,
of
that's
us-
a lot of pizza. Wow.
And scarf some pizza too.
Oh, my God.
And I'll be honest with you, the pizza from Mugs, which delivered to the hotel,
Yeah? Just as good?
Just as good.
Nice.
Just as good.
I'm sorry, the lab real sad. We're not going to Chicago. Like, oh, no. I want Chicago. Next year. Randy says that spray lemon pledge first. Citrus over guacamole, the holiest of friendly. Open to the air, eat if you dare.
Holiest of frioli.
Well, okay.
Holiest of friendly, I like that. Just a little.
Brandon, that was creative.
Just a little freestyle. Brandon, I like it.
Probably a saying.
Would you spray lemon pledge first though in your latex?
No.
No. Okay.
No lemon pledge. But I don't think he's implying that.
I think
Just,
he's
just
joking.
confirming, like.
Yeah. You
We're
don't have to. You don't
we're
have to treat the
comparing it to
latex
the-
in the bucket. It's in
Exactly.
the bucket. It's pretty good. You have to worry about freezing temperatures and about it getting too hot. Anything over 90 and it's going to kind of start binding together a little bit.
Had some that turned bright like red
Yep.
in the bottle.
That is a filler that has iron oxide in it.
Huh.
And some different brands of latex have different fillers. You can get yours. I used to order from a company called Chemionics, which is in Talmadge, Ohio,
Oh,
and there was a little slider thing where you could say what kind of solids you want,
ooh,
and you could formulate your own latex.
fancy.
That's neato.
Yes.
Probably expensive, but neato.
Well, it depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, if you're making
Yeah,
like
if you want nice thick latex masks or
the latex for surgical
Rubbers.
tubing is
Yeah.
completely different than latex used for balloons, which is
Yeah.
completely different than the latex that you use for masks.
Brandon says, you ever stain wood with iron oxides? 3 rusts forms you can easily make, each with a different color.
Yep. I also like to gray wood with the vinegar and steel wool.
Yes.
That's a really nice look and finish.
Third degree Tara says, what's the point of ammonia in the latex?
Ammonia is a thinning agent that is inert, aside from smelling bad, it doesn't add any properties to the latex. And it will actually evaporate out fairly easily. And some industries don't want water in the latex, but they don't have an issue with ammonia in the latex. If you want to powder them and pull them, there's foam heads that is around the corner in a bag.
Okay.
Brandon D said I did that with my Bardish axe for my character. It looks very cool. Bardish.
Bardiche. A bardiche is an axe that is the blade connects to the handle in two spots.
Ooh, nice.
So you'll have it attached to the handle, and then it bows out most of the time, and then it connects again. I'm currently bidding on a couple Bardiche axes that was used in one of the last Robin Hood movies.
Nice.
Ooh.
Hugo says this mold must be weighing 25 kilos or 55 liters.
It may. I mean, it's not going to be that heavy because it's actually really thin. I don't have a lot of plaster on this.
1980.
You're a child.
Is there someone who I can report to when you were here, like that I can tell on you? Is there a wife or a parole officer that should know what's going on?
Parole officer.
Yeah,
Is 1980 a dude?
I don't know. I assume so.
Picture looks like a gal, but I've been wrong once before.
The picture is a leprechaun
Oh, it's a leprechaun.
with a giant beard. So I don't know what girls you know. And, we've had the shaving talk, so I don't know.
Listen. Look and listen. Scott Colbert says this 1980 be a timeout. I don't think we got quite there, but
Oh, hey.
behave, y'all, behave.
You kind of get a pass if you say stuff that's wrong and funny.
Yeah.
If it's not funny, then, you know. Michelle, don't encourage him.
Jerry Collins, the parole officer's parole officer, baby, 2 doors down. Brandon D says, are you not using sheepskin to wrap your Capricorn? Some of us have latex allergies.
See what you've done? Do you see what you've done? It's not just what you do, it's the periphery that you create, my friend.
There's ripples, it's the butterfly effect.
Alexa, how much time is left on my 90-minute timer?
You have 18 minutes left on your 1 hour and 30-minute timer.
Boom, you called that.
Well, I'm going to mix one more batch just to thicken this edge a little bit more. And I'm actually going to use what's left in here and mix with it.
So it'll kick faster?
It'll kick much faster.
Nice. Chad Smith says, and the rabbit hole deepens. Robert White says, it's Friday night.
Let's get crazy.
Let's get crazy.
I had someone in a private message tell me, I can't watch your streams on Thursdays because that's when I get drunk. I'm like, if you plan on getting drunk every Thursday,
Hey,
you might want to like see a doctor, you know?
more power to you. Although it is nice of them to refrain
Oh, yeah.
from being on the feet with
Yeah,
me.
because they like, yeah, I don't interact when I'm drunk. Okay.
Like, that's probably smart. That's probably a decision made from lots of bad decisions.
Yep.
Jerry Collins asks, is there a full moon out?
Alexa, when is the next full moon?
The next full moon will be next Friday, June 5th at 2:12 p.m. It is known as the Strawberry Moon. Strawberry Moon is the name given by Native Americans to a full moon that occurs in June. The name was given to this full moon because strawberry harvesting occurs in June.
Big Dog says it's bourbon night.
Hooray!
Oh, what did Michelle Schulte do?
Why?
Because she's got hit.
Oh no.
Brandon D says, the doggos ever sleep face to butt? Only ever seen butt to butt, it's spoon style. Well,
Yeah, I don't know what Michelle posted. My guess it was an accident. She is a member who normally behaves very well.
plan
Don't-
don't work as hoped.
Don't mind Rue. He's helping.
Nobody saw that.
Chad Smith says, I think you just wanted a yes or no. So no, currently there is no full.
Yeah, nope, no. Brandon, those are very specific questions, but yes, sometimes the dogs do sleep that way.
Stanley asks, how are you going to attach the beast mode amulet?
I don't know yet. I haven't figured it out. I haven't even worked on it, but I'm not worried about it because what I'll probably do is now that I'm thinking about it, I'll just sink some wire loops into the resin as it's curing. It only takes about 3 minutes, and then I'll just sink some wire loops in there, and then I have some loops to tie or attach it.
Brandon B says, ride a pack according to my sky earlier.
Okay, so I want this plaster to be a little thicker. Okay. And these gloves are done for. I'll hang on to them. No point in getting bad gloves. More gloves dirty right now. When I don't know when. Very specific dog questions. So yeah, my next deal, what I got to do, is I'm going to thicken this up around here, and I'm going to thicken this up in here, and then this mold is done.
DM Cash says, the dogs are litter mates. They naturally face the same way. Brandon D says, ever make a meatloaf cake, mashed potato icing, and all that jazz? I have.
I have not.
We made ours we had a Firefly, the TV show themed party. So they make a cake at one point during that show, and they're like, sorry, it's mostly protein. I was like, oh my god, meatloaf cake. It's mostly protein. And it was frosted in potatoes, and
Sounds delicious.
we definitely fooled people hard. Like, my buddy Mike came up and like took a swipe of frosting, what he thought was frosting, put it in his mouth, and he was like, oh no. That was not what I thought that was. It was an accident. Sorry, Michelle.
She was putting time out.
We hope you're still here. Chad Smith says, that's shepherd's pie. No, this was like a layered cake. Like, I cooked the meatloaf in cake tins and had like ketchup reduction in the center. And
Yeah, if you make it look like a cake, then you're a jerk.
Anthony says, meatloaf cake and pea salad made with canned sweet peas. All right, pea salad. Radishes or no?
What?
Pea salad. Like, I don't know if it's a strictly southern thing or not, but it's kind of like potato salad, but with peas.
Just say no to pea salad.
Just saying, I love pea salad.
No. All right, so I think that the only green beans one should eat are garden green beans boiled to death. So they like fall apart when you hit them with a fork. And then the only peas that should be consumed is LeSueur canned peas.
Done.
Huh?
Brandon says, watching the goop solidify makes me think of mashed potatoes.
Yes.
I even like my vegetables and I hate peas. Ugh.
1980 says, no radish or onions,
Except for
yes
snack.
on cheese. I hate to stay on the onions in terms of pea salad, but I do like radish. Brandon says, never had pea salad. Bean salad, sure, but radishes, I guess. Why not turnips instead? I do not know. That's just the way my grandmother made it. Peas, cheese, mayonnaise, radishes, And we ate hard-boiled egg. Robert White says Brussels sprouts. Chad Smith says, how about creamed peas? I've never had creamed peas.
I don't mind creamed peas. I don't mind them.
I do like Brussels sprouts. We roast Brussels sprouts pretty regularly. They're pretty tasty. Also, they're really good if you can saute them with bacon. Next lady says, you use mayo or Miracle Whip? 6 of one, half a dozen the other.
No, they're not the same.
In use for pea salad, you can use either.
Well, I'm not eating pea salad, so I will let you create whatever travesty you wish.
I'll
But
have
they
to
are not
consult.
interchangeable entities.
I will have to consult the recipe for that. I want to say it's probably just mayo.
You put Miracle Whip on a sandwich, I don't like it. You put mayonnaise on one, I like it.
He says you can roast beef, but you can't pea soup.
In my brain, tang is a flavor that tells me something is going off.
Oh,
Like it's about to go bad.
like with yogurt.
Yes, like that tang that you get. Oh, this isn't going to be good for very long anymore.
Yeah.
That's what Miracle Whip tastes like. So I don't like
The
Miracle
tangy
Whip.
zip of Miracle Whip. Joanne says now it seems like a cooking show.
Well,
1980 says Miracle Whip, cheddar cheese, grated, and sweet peas.
in a way it is. It's about ratios. It's about creativity. It kind of is sometimes.
Chad Smith, and all this food / recipe talk with no Shannon present.
I know.
Alright, she is the cooking goddess.
Yeah, when somebody talk about a Monster Energy drink, it just pops right on there.
Jesse Popper says, amen, Ellen. Whip is just spoiled white stuff.
Ooh.
Oh man,
It's warm back there.
who did the paint up on that bug blank that they posted to the group with the LED eyes?
I think it was Renee.
Renee, it was so cool. John C says Shannon's out buying 500 pounds of dog food for the week.
You think you're kidding. It's not 500, it's only 150. Because they're still puppies.
1980 says I made a great cherry cheesecake, super easy recipe. It's on the secret page. Yes, I think I commented on there that is seriously hardcore nostalgia for me. 'Cause my same grandmother who made a pea salad made that all the time. So if we were very good grandchildren, we could get to lick the spatula that scooped out the canned cherries onto it. Yeah, quality stuff. Ian Cash says meatloaf made with pork skins, not bread. It's also not ketchup. So keto meatloaf kind of. I've done that. We also did salmon patties with the pork skins.
And you know what? Shannon gets a sugar-free ketchup
Yeah.
for me now.
Robert White says try smoking the bone-in pork loin. Ain't no
Shannon,
pain, no.
Shannon smokes a good pork loin.
I don't know what I ate earlier. Apparently it's delicious. Chad Smith says, I bet I could make Alan cringe. That's not difficult.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm
Let's
not
not
a
say
huge
today,
fan
shall
of.
we? 1980 says carne loaf.
That was Spanish.
What did he say? Loaf.
And loaf.
Yeah, loaf.
Probably not it.
Probably not. Cheney, no, buddy.
What's he doing?
Chunks of stuff. Snuffling them off the floor. Good God. But why? Yes, the dog is looking for plaster to lick up.
Yep.
Shannon says I'm busy making a pea salad. Chad Smith says, why did Atkins I made a pizza with cauliflower crust? Amazing.
We did that one once. It wasn't amazing, but Shannon made one with a chicken crust. The crust was made out of chicken. That was pretty good.
1980 says it's Tex-Mex. Cobwebs and Candlesticks says Paradise by the Dashboard Lights loaf. What's it gonna be, boy? Yes. Brandon says lame in Dutch. Deutsch. STS Creation says, no more creeping for me tonight. Have to get back to Home Depot floor.
Oh, get to work, you.
Shannon says, and macaroni salad, Alan's favorite.
That's one of those weird things that for some reason my mom thought I liked it and told Shannon that I liked it. And then Shannon said, yeah, my mom said you love that. I went, what? She's high. That's what I want, cold noodles.
This is one of those marital disagreements. Oh, I'm sorry, was not paying attention to you. Tony does not like cold food in general, like food that is supposed to be hot,
I understand that.
and I do. Chad Smith says, I love macaroni salad. John C. says, do you explain to the vet why the dog's poop sample is rock hard and gray?
You know what? I am amazed. Like, I watch for them to poop because, you know, I can't stop them from coming in here and eating plaster. It's very difficult. I have tried. They will eat little chunks of plaster off the floor. And I just make sure that their body keeps flowing, and it does.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
1980 says that German raw hamburger with an egg in the middle, or low-key drift Jesus. If I tried to talk in mold, I'd suddenly find myself trying to smooth gypsum rocks onto a sculpture.
Well, this is I'm into the 2000s as far as masks that I've molded.
Ah,
So this is not my first one
get it.
per se.
Hugo says macaroni salad, very good. Brandon P says cold noodles, relish, and miracle whip.
But I still like vary my technique. I'm still learning things about molding and changing how I do things. I'll have periods where I do things this way. Now I do things a different way.
1980 says Amish potato salad, no onions. Amish mustard potato salad, no onions.
I like German potato salad with no onions. I don't like cold potato salad. I like the warm variety.
Oh God, yeah. The bacon. Brandon D says that method was popularized by the Greeks, I'll have you know.
Which method?
I'm uncertain as to which
Okay.
method he was referring.
I'm sure that someone knows.
Someone knows.
Everybody knows.
Oh, the state beef tartare.
Oh,
Cheney.
Cheney.
No. Hey, come here.
out of that bucket.
Come here, buddy.
I will not let them eat mouthfuls of dry plaster out of the bucket like they would if I let them.
Totally.
Chad Smith says, I want to try that. Steak tartare, I assume.
Okay, give it a shot. Tell me how it was.
Next day he says, no, it's a
Hey.
German dish with a hamburger volcano-shaped mound with a raw egg in the center. I've seen it in person in an old recipe German cookbook. John C. says, do you ever drop and ruin a new mold or drop and smash clay?
Yep. I have had a full mass sculpted. It fell over onto the table because it was a foam head. It was back when the egg heads were made out of foam, and the face was all mashed up on one side. I picked it up, I looked at it, I pulled the rocks out of the face, and I molded it because it was just the whole face was smashed in. You know, the whole face was kind of smashed in and flat on one side. Yeah, and then I used that on several animatronics at screens.
Nice. I had a sculpt that didn't get too dried out in the garage, and I wrongly accused both husband and children of bumping into it and knocking out the bag. And then I found it, like the rest of it in the bag. I was like, oh no, it just dried up and fell off over the head. Ooh.
Did they go and apologize to your children?
I
and
did.
husband?
I was like, sorry guys. Mike Laster says the tree creature chest piece wanted to die.
Oh yeah, that thing. People watched it fall off the table on a live video,
Yeah.
and they would all like gasp. You know, they wrote, "I screamed out loud and scared my husband." Yeah, that thing fell over like 3 or 4 times in the course of a live feed.
It did survive though.
That was back when I worked on tables where the table was dirty. I put a paint can on each corner, put a new piece of wood down, and then just worked on top of it. Then I'd bring in milk crates to stand on. So,
He says, well, time to move. I've assaulted the neighbor's children.
you know what? If you move, then you have to train a whole new set of neighbor children. You might as well just keep that set and hope they learned what you were trying to teach them.
Hugo says, another mold ready. Congratulations. Even I, who just watched, am proud.
Hooray! And this is a group effort. You guys thought to come together. You guys said stuff like, hey, you missed a little spot under the chin.
I see what mine.
I get that every time.
The backseat molding.
Well, that happens.
That's true. Smooth it out with some.
Yeah, I'm just using a little bit of burlap to make this polish up a little.
Sanding. Or this. Does seem a little light tonight.
Yeah, well, they're partying. I mean, it's Friday.
That's right.
Bars are back open. Things are open in most of the country.
Julie's-
Anybody's state not have bars open right now? Are there any states where bars are not allowed to open?
Julie B says, great job. How long to fry?
So this is going to cure over the course of the next 30 minutes or so. As soon as it is solid, Alexa, stop. That was my 90-minute timer to tell me when it was done. And surprise, it's done.
Nice Lady says, there are several forms of German raw meat dishes.
I am not a fan.
Chad Smith says Illinois. Lisa Artis is out here in Washington. Jenna Crowley says Massachusetts. Scott Colhart says Minnesota is only 25% open. Nice Lady says Illinois patio only, no inside. Lisa Artis says my county is still in stage 1. Kentucky didn't have any bars open right now. Dave Cash says, in your process, do you first see a face or a monster in sculpting order?
When I start sculpting, the concept is always almost fully formed. So it is that monster, and I'm trying to shape the clay into that monster. There are some people who always sculpt a human skull first, and then they build their entire sculpture off of that. I don't find it that necessary. I just kind of go right into it.
Jesse Foxfair says people are running out to breathe in that COVID-19 free air. Dummies. Chad Flyboy says we opened up a lot this past week. The doctor 2 doors down from me had 12 positive cases coming yesterday. Oh,
Yeah, that happens.
Big Dog says we have most, but there are some that will never open again. Jesse
Yeah, that
Foxfair
happens.
Says yes, I spelled it correctly.
Mouth on this? Fun to pull.
Yeah, it's why don't you show them the ones that you've been pulling?
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted me to or not.
Oh, you can, sure.
Ezekiel says bars not open in Brisbane, restaurants
All right.
and seating settings.
We pulled Pumpkinhead.
I think that's telling that their
Pulled that
their
one.
bars are not open, but their schools are.
I pulled.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I don't care about the
I'm
drums.
fine with that.
We pulled a Grave Digger.
Great dinner.
Don't finish that.
We're gonna get a copyright strike.
I want to say it every time I say it. But I don't. Boy, I could really use a reacher tool right now.
Gosh, it's not like there are 2 of them hanging on the. Oh,
Yeah.
No, 4 of them hanging on the door over there. Heck, you said.
Pulled a witch. She's fun. We got
John C. says, after touring an amazing haunted house at night, I was later shown everything in the daytime. All the defects get lost in the scene of lighting.
Oh, absolutely. The dark makes everything wonderful.
we get a quarter goblin.
I mean, that's no joke. I'm significantly better than Julie B says bars are open in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Chico says very good. Julie B says everything's open in Wisconsin.
Zombie.
Dead and Yarnhawk says no partying here, just hailing premises. Thor says Michigan restaurant, the bars are not open, takeout.
Okay.
How is everybody handling takeout like booze?
Goblin. It was a goblin.
Texas.
Not all states have drive-through
I was
booths.
gonna say Texas has been like, you want a gallon of margaritas? Here you go.
Yeah. Leave the lid on.
Yeah.
And
Don't
we
you
got a
dare put
bug.
straw in that.
Yeah. Here's a straw.
Also a fun one full with the teeth. But they came out. These actually came out really easy.
The one with the big ears that someone's asking about, 1980. I use that as a leprechaun. I use it as a goblin. I use that as a elf during Christmas time. That is the mask of 100 uses. I have taken that and mounted it to another mask and then made a Krampus out of it. I've done a lot with that guy.
Hugo says, zombie.
Hugo's a zombie fan, I take it.
Very good.
I just start trimming flash.
Lisa says booze is available from grocery stores.
That's all.
Okay? Don't worry about eye holes and mouth holes. I'm teaching Robert Alcala how to do that.
Okay.
So just trim your main flash.
How are the Alcalas? I'm wearing my English shades to shirt.
One of you guys tell a story real quick, and I'll be right back. I have to go in the other room.
Didn't you have one bookmarked?
I already told it. Told it last night. It was why I'm named Rue. Available from grocery stores in Washington. Yep. Just
Sure.
line up the bug, the spider, and Class B felon together.
Yeah. Get that trimmed and go line them up. Let's see, what stories we got? I know.
Let's see. It's a very sticky stool.
So, when I first started working or I guess interning in dark hour costuming, the first Halloween season that I was interning at dark hour costuming, we initially were ramping up for, that was the Nightmare Witch here, ramping up for everything, talking about designs, working on stuff, and then Alan comes to me with an order that has absolutely nothing to do with any of that, involving a lot of gloves, like big cartoon gloves. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what it's for, so just content yourself with big, like the style of like Hamburger Helper gloves, like huge white puffy cartoon character gloves, which we had to kind of reverse engineer from some existing gloves and make to work. And I had never worked with that particular kind of foam before that we needed for that. So they were finicky and finagly, but the number of them they needed kept increasing. So first it was like 5 pairs, then it was like 10 pairs. And so like after almost a month of working on them, we finally got all out these gloves. I was like I was promised Halloween, like, can I work on Halloween now, please? We did finally get them done though. I was able to move on to making the real Halloween. And there was the story.
Dead End Yard Hunt. Thank you. We enjoyed making the Vlad versus Dracula video. We had a lot of fun on that.
Oh, yeah, that was well. The nice thing was that dropped right before Halloween, and we were immediately like, oh my god, we have to do this because. And I think honestly,
We have 3 days.
we had 3 days and we pulled it off. If you watch in the video, we're literally using flashlights and cell phones for lighting in that, and it was nuts. But we pulled it off, and honestly, our costumes in that look better than the actual costumes do in the Epic Rap Battles thing.
We think.
No, you know what? I'll make
Yeah.
an objective call. Ours are better.
So
That's definitely better.
for you who are just joining, Pretty Wicked Desire, I have molded this half, the second half of a goat mask. Rue cleaned out and poured up the full Murder Hornet. And this is the Capra mask that I'm about to crack open, actually. As soon as I finish pouring this beverage, making myself a water.
Full murder.
Scott wants to know how much is the full
What did I
murder
say?
jacket going to cost.
Full murder.
Well, so it's a half mask, so it's $75. I do have to add antenna to it, which means some EVA.
No.
That means an EVA support in the forehead, and then I have to crack those. So it'll probably be $95 or right about $100. Right about $100 for a full murder jacket.
I'm so mad
My wife.
at it.
My wife, what?
My wife even enjoyed it.
Hooray.
In Illinois, it's county by county. State is supposed to be no bars unless they serve food. That has to be outside the indoor service.
God.
I'm pretty sure you already
Right,
did.
indeed. He said crack. What? Beefy boy.
Crunchy, crunch, crunch.
Just say what you said it on.
More plaster.
Or plastic.
This is a foam bust, but I sculpted it on.
It's okay, Cheney was gonna be nice.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm helping.
Oh, I said on my knife handle.
Julie B's. Michelle, I lived several years in Delaware. I miss all my Wisconsin updates. I used to caption for WISN. It's about eating.
I've chosen my weapons.
Do you want here?
No.
No? Just the other.
Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah, that's where it goes.
This one, right? And
Yep.
this one.
What?
And this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So this, Rue, is what I was originally going, what if I had the murder hornet one night,
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna sculpt I was gonna cut this piece out
Mm-hmm.
and sculpt the mandibles to fit in this socket
Mm-hmm.
with a flange, and then I was gonna glue them in to these masks,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I would have done. I think the one that you did is a little cleaner.
Oh, thank you. I like the way you did the eyes. in
Show
this
them
one.
what you're talking about.
The way he did the eyes in this one is that it's in this webbing behind it, so you can cut out this webbing and have really good vision in this mask, which has giant built-in eyes. But mine might be a little smoother, but I like this one. I like this one a lot. Not better, just different.
Well, that has been every kind of bug. We made cockroaches out of that. We made Japanese tiger beetles out of that. We did, roaches, and we did all kinds of bugs out of that. We had a whole year at Dark Hour. We did a lot of insects. We had Corva Hive as the witch of swarms. And she was the witch one year.
That was the Halloween before I got here. He just says, "Oh, let's go. Open the mold."
Let's see how we do.
Talking about Illinois governor, or governor scandals. Hey, no face chomp. Why are you face chomp? Granity says roaches have one of the coolest heads. Hypogagus? It's situated to look down from the body. Hypogagus?
Hypo.
Gotcha.
The gnat is probably some from like supinated.
Okay.
So hypo, extra, yeah, okay. Extra pointy downy is probably what it's gonna
Extra
mean.
pointy downy. Karaoke Desire says that looks pretty awesome. Why are you such white?
Because they're awake. They only bite when they're awake.
Yeah, no bite here.
There we go. That's the direction I want to go with that. Now I have a nice crack forming.
on that side, but I can't. So the backside darker because it's out overnight?
Yes. Yeah, this is fully cured. This side's still a little bit green. Guess which side's coming off first?
The heavy front.
The heavy side.
Shocking.
You need a hand?
No, I just bring it.
Would you appreciate it? Maybe need was the wrong word.
Here, hold this.
Gotcha.
Now,
Back of head.
Let's see how much this.
Ed heads that were always foam, very often were ripped off right here at the neck because people would try to pry it out from this point here. This is not a foam Ed head, it's a plastic Ed head, so it's a lot stronger. But this will have a degree of suction on it. This is going to be a pull.
You would steal this whole thing off of your car.
Clean up crew here.
There are several schools of pulling these guys out. I'm going to unzip the back, kind of, and do it that way.
Chance says I ripped the head off my head by doing that very thing.
Yep, that's very common.
Yeah.
Sweet girl.
Hey, put it in that garbage can, because that one's too close to the top, and they just pull it off the top.
I'll just pull it off the top. Yep, and there's no, nope, that one's already,
Yeah.
Someone, they stole one?
that one's already just full.
Like I was like, oh, I'll just squish it down somehow. That one's been squished a few times already.
I'm a squisher.
You're squishers.
What?
You licked my shin.
That's not weird. Not be darn. Gotta make that COVID income.
Gotta make that COVID money.
Cheney, it's not for you, bud.
Jane.
I
So,
love how I walk over here, grab hold of
Jane.
the mold for him, and he's like, okay, I'll just walk away
now I
now.
can leave. Thanks, everyone. I can go.
Glad you have that. Bye.
Says put a pad under the snout for it to slam. Rachel Power.
This is
I got
his
this.
first time.
Says my parents will lick the inside of your nose.
He just stole the head.
Seriously, Jane.
Like,
Thank you.
hit the floor
Brandon,
and
story
gone
time.
in
How
one
will we
motion.
I had to chase my dog down for a foam head.
Gregory Haynes says, I'm back. The storm knocked out power for an hour, so I missed out up to now. Fun time. So exciting to see Capricorn mold.
It was great. Scott Colhart got arrested. It was terrible. I missed a lot.
Rob O'Brien says, best Snoopy mold ever.
There's so much nose in there.
There's rather a lot of Snoopy.
I did a good job on the shoulders. Like, I'm not too far past the shoulders. Maybe I'm a hair past the shoulders, but not much. I think this will go. I am not hitting this with enough force. The last thing I want to do is crack this sucker, so I just wanted to break that seal a bit.
Rich Powell, the last parrot that I owned would shank you for a marshmallow. Like, Brandon D says, got a rubber mallet?
Okay, I don't know.
Switch.
And my shoulders.
Switch. Can you hold this piece?
Yeah.
And I'll do the mold puggery.
Lisa Art says, getting anxious.
You weren't yanking the bottom of it up.
Oh, there
Oh,
we
it
go.
goes.
There she blows.
You can set that somewhere else.
No.
Sloshy head.
Rachel Powell says, yes, the leaves they are.
They are indeed.
Ferrets.
Super leaves.
Tony won't let me have ferrets because he gets too stink.
They do.
I mean, I know they stink. They smell like ferrets, and I like that.
It's a pleasant
It's
state.
a pleasant stink. Then Yarn said, the last time that happened to me, I swore I would wrap it in tinfoil next time.
I don't know that helps that much. I mean, it's not that bad. I think sometimes that you guys see things and it appears to be a great struggle. It's really not. It takes a little bit of force, but working on it, spending a little more time, I could have dug clay out and popped it out alone, but I had somebody here, so I used them. It's not something I necessarily need a solution to. It's just how it is.
Two 200-pound plus guys
Yeah.
leaning away from each other can pull something apart pretty easily.
Gary
But
Hayden says, yeah,
The
guys.
power of pledge right here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it comes out really clean with the pledge.
Low-key Drift asks, would aiming compressed air between clay and armature work?
No, because the air is going to push the clay out some. What I'm going to do on a future mold, because I want to try it, is I'm going to tie a knot in a piece of surgical tubing and embed it in the mold wall, on the clay wall. So then when I mold that half, it gets put into that half. And then leave this end open, and there's a knot on this end. And then when I want to crack the mold, I put the rubber hose over my air compressor end, and I fill that tube up. And that inflating should crack the mold apart.
Should.
Yeah.
Nice. Big Dog says, happy digging. Scott Kohler said, I might. We're under a curfew and I still need to make it home.
Hooray! Wait, if you're not home, where are you watching this?
In car. On the highway.
No, he already said he had bourbon.
And?
Things at work.
Ah.
With bourbon?
Don't say that loud, the boss is watching. They never check the sippy cup.
Pretty Wicked Desire says, do you reuse the clay?
I normally do not. I normally do not reuse the clay. This clay, I'm going to have someone put in this bag, and I probably will reuse this clay.
A lot.
Ronnie Pope says, I was amazed by the pledge. 95% of my sculpt came out altogether.
Oh yeah, I should have seen Murder Hornet come out. Everything except for the eyes and the mandibles came out in giant chunks.
John C. says, can you mount the bust onto a well-anchored 3-inch diameter pipe?
You could.
Big
Hey
Dog-
guys, out of the way.
Big Dog
Forrest,
says, I
spit
got
that
mine
out.
yesterday. Hugo says, okay, perfect. Jamie, stop.
He's a fiend for
You
plastic
are.
chips. He treats plastic chips like I treat corn chips.
Big old fluff.
Forrest,
baby.
get out of there.
All three of them.
Chad says the dogs need some bones.
They have plenty of bones.
Did you guys try the frozen peanut butter thing?
Oh yeah, they love it.
Nice.
Always got a paintbrush.
Tony came home with those, you know, they're like drumsticks, the ice cream thing.
Yeah.
But they're peanut butter ones. This turns out I like frozen peanut butter too.
You eat the dog's treats.
They're not dog treats, we don't have dogs. they're ice cream cones, but instead of like chocolate on the inside, it's peanut butter.
Okay.
Guess he fills the con with roast peanut butter. He's gotta keep me occupied. I'm more easy.
There you go. You said you had to be-
Why make two steps?
The way they-
You pull it up, put it in a pile, I pick it up and put it in the bag.
They need shop
Pull it out
bones.
for
The
the-
bones never leave the shop. Joan Crowley says, what
If
breeds are
only.
the dogs? Their fur looks very soft.
They are Great Pyrenees and Springer Spaniel mix.
And their fur is very soft.
They're
Bella, what you eating, baby?
Paintbrush. Bug.
Yeah, they have
Her
both.
sad little face.
They have both Springer Spaniel traits and they have Great Pyrenee traits.
And they're very, very soft.
You want to give them a new wood brush to chew
A
on.
new one?
It's not covered in paint.
Yeah, I don't want them to chew on paint because it's like chewing on a stick. I don't mind them chewing on a stick. That's fiber. Good Lord, they need fiber. Some more than others, right, Cheney?
Here you go, Bella. Here you go. You can have She's like, I don't want a new one. I want the old one.
This one has the flavor.
It's the forbidden snack. That's really what it is. Joan Crowley says they are beautiful. Yes, they are. These are my proxy dogs. I don't have to get dogs because you have dogs.
Hey, Rue, how clean is that table right there, the 4x8 table?
That one?
Yeah.
Fair?
Could you get that table mostly cleaned off for me?
Sure.
Jamie.
Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 9:48 p.m. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Alexa just told you to go to bed.
Well,
You're not my real mom.
I could have asked that about walking out the door. You never know.
Am I going to school? That's, that thing, right?
DM Cash says, screw a large eye mold to a wall and run a tugboat through it. They played for hours.
These guys are not. Pyrenees don't have a big toy drive per se. They just don't. The Springer Spaniel part of them, Boris has a ball drive. He will want to play with the ball, but they're not big tuggers. It's a lot of times the toys are breed dependent. We did have one. We used to have Spitz and Wendigo, and Spitzy would only chew on things that were soft and furry, and Wendigo would only chew on things that were hard and plasticky.
Michelle Schulte says, not only did I get put in
I'm gonna
time out,
pick these,
I was out about the same time.
Skull
Man.
medallions also.
Sorry, Michelle. It was an accident.
You were put in timeout by Michael Lassiter and God. It's like, you dwell in darkness. Okay, I'll go with that.
Spreads and stuff. Don't know.
Hey, so I had a question on the, that silicone mold in there. Why do you have to get it as firmed up as you did in there? Like, would you have less bubbles if you didn't get it quite as firmed up and then molded with it? Like, you just kind of dribbled it on?
You wouldn't have as much catalyst in it,
Okay.
but I don't really have a lot of bubbles.
I was gonna say, would it just take longer to kick?
Maybe it wouldn't kick. Because you can't use it right out of the tube. The dish soap is actually a catalyst. The dish soap and the water is a catalyst,
Okay.
which makes it cure much faster.
Yeah. But I mean, it would eventually cure.
No.
No? At all?
Well, right now, it's sitting in a plastic tube.
Right.
As soon as the outside cures, it's back in a plastic tube. the
Wrong,
bench.
no one got banished, Michelle accidentally got muted.
Yeah, she was accidentally muted.
Yeah, those blueberry scones put you right over the edge. She was talking about food. Julie Beeson made a hybrid wolf dog. He was so gentle. He played football with the guys, and very gentle with our daughter. He was 150 pounds, but thought he was a rat.
Yeah. That
I
happened.
grew up with a guy that. What's the matter, Cheney?
Nobody's loving
He's not getting enough attention.
Cheney. Come here. I love money. Gotta come over here.
You know, he wants you to come to him.
No, that's not how this works.
He has way more Pyrenees traits. All right, so you guys can see this is pretty darn clean. I'm working out the snout right now. Working out the snout.
Horses do literally eat that paintbrush. Like,
Yeah.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. Take, take. Wow.
welcome, Horror Beauty. You missed the final molding on the
Capper score.
Chad Smith says, my next dog is going to be an English Bulldog. I can afford one.
You know what? I don't necessarily do that per se. Shannon does that, and I've always, like when I was younger, I was very poor growing up, like ridiculously poor, where we would have family conversations of, would you like hot water this month or heat in the house? Like we have to make a choice. But we did not. So like we didn't choose a pet. You know, a pet happened or it didn't happen. But we didn't say, oh, our next pet is going to be a Labrador Retriever. That's still like a weird and alien concept to me. I understand, I get it, and the more I learn about dogs and dog breeds, you want traits that line up with what with your lifestyle. But it's an alien concept to me still. My next pet is going to be this. Shannon also has like a bank of names in her head. And she's like, you know, like she already has names for future animals kind of picked out.
Horror Beauty asks, how'd it go?
I think it went very well. A hammer was involved.
But only shortly.
Me and Rue grunted for a while, and then Capricorn.
Rob O'Brien said, I saw Rue had a bug pulled. May I see? It's not the murder one.
Yeah, it's not the murder hornet, which just got finished up tonight. It just got molded tonight, cleaned out. Poured, actually. We use all of the words. The hammer was not used on the mold itself. The hammer was used on the head form just to put a little bit of air in there.
Joanna Crowley says, we were the same growing up, always the mutt. I have a Doxy now. Julie B says, our dog was free. But we just didn't have room for him.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of how it happened. I mean, this animal showed up, and you liked it, or you know, someone gave it to you.
My dad was very anti-dog growing up. He had one dog that like was a found dog that had to live in the yard, like away from people.
Yeah.
And now they adopted a like runty purebred, and she lives in their house and sleeps on the couch. And I'm like, who are you? What are you doing with my parents?
Like my sister, she had a hamster for a long time.
Yeah.
And that was a pet where she picked out, I would like to have a hamster. And every summer, my sister would murder a hermit crab that she would make it live in isolation in a tiny little tank until it died 4 months later when she bought it as a souvenir at Ocean City, Maryland.
I see.
Yep.
Lisa Arndt says,
My
is
son's
the
had a
mask
few of
going to
those.
be painted?
What?
Lisa Arndt says, is the bug mask going to be painted?
I actually think that's a blank that someone ordered, so no. But I do want to do a blank. People ordering things is awesome because that makes a little bit of money, you know? But orders are priority. So there's things that I just want to do and want to make. And, you know, my stuff is gonna, personal projects are gonna come later because it's gonna come later.
Rob O'Brien said that's also a nasty bug.
Yeah.
Chad says when I was a kid, it was whatever dog stuck around that we made a pet. We didn't buy any pets when I was
Shut up.
younger.
No.
Shut up.
I know people who
You are
don't
fine.
feed their dogs.
Just for pain.
And
Do you have their addresses? For no reason.
well, but they're very farmy people,
Yeah.
you know, so they would put food out for other things. The dog would steal what it wanted, but they didn't like buy dog food.
Yeah.
And it's like it's crazy that dog just sticks around,
Yeah.
but it has to have some kind of a benefit, you know.
Yeah.
I have a friend that has like 3 cats that I know have never gotten a bowl of food put out for them.
But the cats still hang out.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
the cats have plenty of mice to eat. So
Murder
just
cats.
what they do.
I feed all my pets. I don't want anything under my roof that I'm not. I have a very protective streak.
Yes.
Cancer.
See, and it's fun, a little funny to me because I remember growing up, like northern Minnesota, very, very northern Minnesota. We had outside dogs that lived outside all winter long, you know, and
Hey, buddy.
but they had their own kennels and stuff like that.
James.
And like if it would get really super bad, we'd put a heater up in their kennel, but for the most part, they lived outside forever. But that's not a thing anymore.
Body Geek says greets and salutes. Michael Asker says Shannon won't let anything go hungry anyways. Oh, that baby. That big old baby.
And notice the strain in Ellen's face.
Bella. Come here, Bella.
Oh, very jealous. Very jealous.
Bella, this is my turn.
Now they're all sniffing him like, what'd you get? What just happened?
How'd you get that?
Now Bella wants to be picked up, so I would like to be picked up, please.
Creighton says, hey, Alan, hey, Drew, hey, Stacy. Hello, Creeper family.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Yes.
Hugo says, Boris, Bella, Cheney. Michelle Schultz says, our cats are so spoiled. They have an 8-foot tower with detached toys and scratchers.
Is this enough table for you?
Yes.
Julie B says, our dog was an outside dog. I tried bringing him in the house or garage. Thought he was being punished. So sad.
Yeah, like I had dogs like that when I was a kid. Yeah, huskies and
I had
shepherds.
when I was at another haunt here in Texas, we had a cattle dog, Blue Heeler. And if she was inside, she didn't like the roof, so she would crouch down and she would like army crawl anywhere time she was indoors.
Hello, Tetwork Studios.
Open the sliding door of the van, there are a couple head forms there.
Sure. John C. says the Huskies get 90% homemade food.
Wow, that's awesome.
I have floated several times the idea of making cat food. Like, for cats. Tony says it's probably less expensive. Just
It is.
buy the fancy food. But like, I find cool recipes where Pinterest is dangerous for me. I'm like, ooh, I could make that.
How many boards do you think you have on Pinterest?
Oh god, a lot.
I have over 100.
Yeah, I have to look. I don't know if it tells you how many you had. I need to go through and do a cleanup of that, because I know some of them are for stuff I'm not using anymore, like kid birthday parties and stuff. For a while there, we had joint boards going on with Tony's ex-wife for jointly planning kid birthday parties.
Okay, so when you said joint and then there was a pause, I'm like, is she about to talk about marijuana? But that's,
Yes, we have totally
Yeah.
weed-focused boards.
So, one of my father's claims to fame, who I did not grow up with my father, but one of his reasons for notoriety was he was able to roll a joint while driving a motorcycle. Hey, buddy.
Gotta say, that sounds pretty difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a motorcycle.
You getting notes?
Over 180
believe I'm about to ask this. Would you like that Altrical brought into?
Sure, it goes in that corner over there.
Shannon Hobbs says, my baby boy.
Actually, you could probably dump 2 or 3 bags of it right here. Of the Ulticat, yeah.
Julie B says, my dog would smell homemade dinner rolls. He would sit with his back to me till I would bring him rolls.
He would shun you into
And she
feeding.
said in the winter I'd make him homemade chicken soup. Oh.
Oh my goodness. That is spoiled.
Yeah. Chad Smith says, Alan, my kid plays Fortnite. I noticed they have medical type outfits that look a lot like your medical apocalypse line, paint scheme wise.
Really? Cool. I had not seen those.
Sell them as Fortnite.
But they're actually moving pretty good.
Yeah, good.
So what's happening with those is that a lot of haunted houses are taking the precaution of taking people's temperature before they go in.
Oh, so you got a medical attendant.
Right, so they're going a little more medical with that character.
Jerry Collins said you should make a mask of them. Do you mean the dogs, Jerry?
Okay, so in my career of making werewolf costumes, I've kind of been exposed to too many fetishists to make masks of my dogs.
What is?
It's not the same, right?
Is it?
That's fine.
No, it's not.
Oh. Oh, that's a sculpting tool. Yeah, you can't have that. Give that dog a paintbrush.
There.
Oh, we got a Jonesy.
No, he's considering it, but the dogs are too crazy.
Laurent, come inside.
What's that just gonna say?
No say.
Grab the Ron Perlman bust if it's around. You should be able to find it somewhere. Oh, Beastman's on it.
Beastman's on it.
So put Beastman on the Ed head I just cleared up, and then put Ron Perlman on that table.
Okay, I gotta get the rest of it off.
I feel like your line of heads here. Cheney, what are you doing, bud?
Taunting Jonesy.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening there.
Now, why do you call this one the Ron Perlman one?
Because people on the live feed say that that bust looks like Ron Perlman.
There's not anywhere near enough jaw on this.
But there is enough forehead.
There might be enough for it.
Big Dog says metal tools on plaster wins.
No. If you look at this tool, okay, if you look at it, it is curved to such a degree that all that touches the plaster is this rounded bit. And then I pull out.
Cheney,
I'm very careful.
Yet.
Yes, can be done. Need to be careful while doing it.
1980s.
I did it earlier too.
In the 50s, my grandparents were hemp farmers. There was a news article about them getting hemp seed mixed with marijuana. They planted several fields that year. It all had to be destroyed.
Awesome.
They have the seeds and stems loose.
I'm sure that's a reference that I don't understand.
It's a song. Run down the seeds and stems again. Two.
Really, though.
Big Dog says, okay, sorry, my bad.
It's all good. It's all good. And I understand your concern. I have done this once or twice before.
It's not his first rodeo?
This is my 4th rodeo.
Fourth rodeo. It seems like a weirdly arbitrary number of rodeos.
I no longer punch the cows.
Brian Lippert says small mammal meat hook, it looks like.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
It's burrito. Hanging your squirrels up.
For voles and squirrels, yeah.
Squirrels and squirrels. The guy who did the porch package trap, like sprays glitter
Yes.
everywhere, that guy did a squirrel obstacle course.
Yes,
It was-
saw it.
Holy crap, that was funny.
Your
Chad
dogs
Smith says
are
I'm
really
going to start
talented at
building
getting
a
under my feet.
facade on Sunday. I'm so ready.
I almost fell flat on my face with Cheney that time.
Bella, no.
I really want to eat that plaster.
You almost
So
got
bad.
runned over, didn't you?
Nice name, you wanna scan that article in and put it in the creeper group? I'd read it. Cause I'm nosy.
You have way too much free time.
Currently, you're correct. That is true. I quit my day job to do this.
Right.
I did, however, today finish all of the masks, like civilian masks,
Yeah.
that I had ordered. Like everybody who
That's
has
great. Well done.
ordered masks from me has got.
3 times in a row. I reached down to pick up. I can't help but myself, but like grab the 2 bags of Ultra Cal and go, nah, one.
One is fine.
But I did it 3 times in a row. Brain still says, hey, you could do that. And then go, nah.
That's great.
You could, but you don't have
I
to.
could, but I'm not gonna. Your whole music. Julie B says, Alan, looks like you're really having to dig deep. I should send you some tissue forceps from surgery. Would work great.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
It's a deep mold, you know. We put a big snout on this guy, true to his heritage.
This British heritage.
Tomorrow, this will get poured up.
Now you got some new foam too.
Silicone.
Silicone. Ooh. Tutwork Studios says tonight I had the first experience with VR, Jurassic Park experience. Wow, amazing.
Cool.
Chad Smith says I want to have a concrete stucco look on our facade that will be outside. What should I use on the plywood?
Synergy.
Thinking about monster wood.
Synergy. I think it's Senergy. It is an acrylic stucco mix. It's really good stuff. Synergy.
Julie,
You can have it pre-tinted, so you spray it on tinted.
Julie asks, is your address on your Facebook?
Probably. It's on the website.
It's on the website.
It's on the Stilpy Studios website.
Scott or Michael, you drop the website.
What is what like? Oh,
Synergy.
the last time I bought it, it was like $80 for a 5-gallon bucket. But you can spray it on pretty thin, in all honesty. That's a good bit of coverage.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, I like this little wire because I can bend it to the angle that I need. And right now I'm reaching around the lip to get clay.
Is that the one I just straightened a minute ago?
So with the face being so long like that,
One long thing. Why you go upstairs?
Helen.
Alright, I'm gonna put a pin in that question. Chad Smith says, what do you spray it on with, a hopper or a spray gun?
Hopper.
With it being such a long face, how will you make that a moving jaw thing? Will you cut the whole bottom and everything off?
You have to do a EVA foam shell. And then in the EVA foam, you cut that piece, you hinge that piece, and you do a lever
Levers.
from here up here, which is just a rod, like a plastic
And it'll
rod.
hold it.
Yeah.
So it'll move it.
Mm-hmm.
KVFX special effects makeup. Taking a break from the Hellraiser sculpting. Saw this notification.
Oh, cool.
Bill Cumber.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. That being built, the
Yeah.
moving jaw thing. Is the other scrubber on?
Yeah, they're on. And you could,
have
what I normally do is I cut it, and then I very slowly lift it up. Like you don't have to lift it up here and shake. Yeah.
You cut it up.
Rodney Pope says, okay, I'm probably way more excited about this mask than a 50-year-old should be, but man, it turned out way better than I expected.
Which one? This one? Did you not have high hopes for a three-eyed goat? You're like, I don't know what that guy's thinking.
Psycho Axeman says, did you ever get the flocking gun?
I have a flocking gun. I'm waiting on flocking. Flocking is on its way from the UK.
It's taking a flocking long time to get here.
True.
KVFX says, how many times can you reuse your wed?
As many times as you're comfortable with. I mean, truly. I mean, it's it doesn't really go bad. It's mud, so you just have to manage its moisture, re-wet it, dry it up. You know.
Rodney says, I went ahead and pulled. No, my skull.
Oh, great, great. Good. I'm glad. Throw some pictures up on the group, of course.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I too am excited about your skull.
It did look really good. Psycho Axeman says, awesome. It will be fucking great.
Yes, it will. I have
See?
a bear pole ready.
I'm not the only one making
Look what
the
you
joke.
started. Psycho,
They were
it's
waiting.
on, sir.
They were standing by, waiting for, ready to make the
Okay.
joke.
We need a repeat on the answer for the wet clay.
Oh, you can use your wet clay as much as you want. It doesn't really go bad. You have to manage its moisture content. So you might have to, at some point in time, grind it up and then add some water. You may have to, it's too muddy, and then you spread it out in a thin sheet and let it dry up a little bit. So you have to manage its moisture, but it's good for, it's mud. I mean, it's good forever.
I've full blown like reused it over and over and over again. Totally got it absolutely soaking wet. Ran it through a strainer, pulled all the
Yeah, little plastic
chunks
chunks
out
out,
of
yep.
plaster chunks out of it.
And that's
Let it
just
dry
work
up.
that I'm not willing to do.
Yeah. There's
You
a lot of extra
you
work.
can do that, but I am of the mind where that time for me is more expensive than the other.
Rodney Pope says, thanks again.
Oh, no problem, man. Happy to help with stuff like that. And a skull is, if you're going to make a mask for your first time, that's a real good one to do first.
Yep.
Goat's clean.
KVFX says, sweet. What I've been doing is mixing some glycerin in water to rehydrate it.
You can, and that just kind of turns it into wet.
Psycho Axeman says, I didn't know that you could do that to wet.
You absolutely can. You can. They sell slip clay, which is just the powder that you add water to. So you absolutely can.
KVFX says, thank you for repeating the answer. Psycho Axeman says, anatomy is key. Thank you, Scott, for throwing that link up there.
They are.
I want to see, probably the easiest way to do this is going to be with getting slip clay, but see if I can get it to a pipeable consistency. So I can run it through a piping bag.
You can.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it done for pottery, like really fine scroll work.
They start with
piping
slip.
and stuff, yeah. So I can make a mold of piping and not have to do every time. Instead of, like, taking out silicone. Chad says, I started to ask so many questions about this energy. Where do you get it? I'm looking online, I want to see it for construction supply companies. Is it in Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot?
No, it's not. It is not through them. You'll have to go to a stucco supply. I get mine from Don's Stucco in Dallas, but go to a construction supply company. That's the material. You want to construct things, that's where you need to go. They have them near you, I assure you.
Oh, I went way down the rabbit hole on air treating last night.
Oh, did you? I made you stay up till 5 in the morning on it, huh?
Coolest stuff ever.
Yeah.
Can't wait to play with it. Have you heard of that yet?
What?
concrete mixed with foam,
Yes, I have heard
so
of
that
that.
it's like
Super
it's
light.
super light,
Yep.
super like insulating.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The context in which I know about that for is like making dome houses.
And earth ships
Yeah,
sometimes.
ships,
use it.
yeah. I'm very enamored with the idea of an earthship house. Like, I mean, we're
Hippie.
in the process. I mean, yes. But we're
Make
in-
sure it doesn't fall over. I'll be right back.
We're in the process of like gathering supplies and everything to make a cob house at my parents' place. But now we have to move it because they've changed their will. I get the house now. But it's a different part of the property. KBFX asks, what's the flocking gun for?
Flocking on werewolves, bears, and beast mode.
Bom, 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 bom.
Michelle Schulte asks, is this waterproof or do you have to seal it?
The plaster is waterproof. Once it is cured, it's a rock. I have made a rock. It will not turn back into mud when it gets wet. It is a chemical change that occurred.
Psycho Accident says you should do a video on how to make monster feet.
That sounds very specific. But yes, and I actually have to do some coming up, so I will.
Scott Creighton says they use the concrete foam combo for making in-ground pools too.
Yes.
Doug says flocking guns is for
Okay. So here we go. I am going to talk to you. Would you close that door? I left it open. I'm a terrible person. This is most of the major types of sculpting busts out on the market. This is the Mosher Effects bust. If you want to know what a Mosher Effects bust looks like, they all have weird paint jobs because I paint masks on them. All right, so that's the Synergy is waterproof. It is an outdoor coating. So this is a Mosher bust. It has these keys already in it, and it is very big. It's also foam with a resin hard coat on it. It's a nice bust. It's probably my favorite commercial busts.
maybe effects. I haven't seen that before, so I'm looking forward to seeing it in action. He says, remember the put a pad under the mold comment. Paul Bennett says that goat mold.
1980, make your comment again.
Making sure there's a pad underneath.
Well, that's why there's a bag of clay under it. That's what keeps it.
Paul Bennett says that goat mold looks like a big Clifford's head while he was a puppy, the shape of it.
It does, yes. It's a very dog-esque. So this is the first Ed head. Well, not the first, but this is an Ed head that, this is from Monster Makers. This is back when the Ed heads were foam. Same face and design as the new Ed head, which I just pulled the goat out of, which is a thick plastic.
Psycho Axeman asks, could you just get a cheap bust and Bondo it?
If it's the right size. Most mannequin heads are too small. So you'd have to put a lot of Bondo on there. This is the one from Asylum Props. This is also a very good bust. I like it a lot. It's got a good sized head, so you don't have to build up too much with clay. And this is the CFX Average Joe Human bust, which I use too, but it is a much smaller head. It's meant to kind of store your masks on. And if you look at my head next to it,
Guy's got a small
He's a
face.
tiny head.
yes, it's a much smaller head. You know, unless I do this, then it's a big head. It's a tiny head. Big head. Yeah.
He's
So,
a
I'm gonna show the foam head next to that just to illustrate how much smaller it is. Like,
which one?
foam head
Foam head.
compared to this.
Oh, yes. Okay, so A styrofoam wig head. Rue is going to grab me one.
Yep.
A styrofoam wig head is even smaller than that one. These guys range anywhere from $60 up to $120. This is a styrofoam head. And it is even much smaller than this head. It's much smaller. These are exactly in line with each other.
And as compared to the Silent Props one.
It'll have to go upside down.
Yep.
And now see how much bigger the Asylum Props head is? The nose? That's why I like that one.
This one.
Keel said, I'm so stoked, just foam filled a mask that turned out killer. I couldn't find Loctite, but I had found foam I could get in a local hardware store. Spray water worked perfect. Thanks so much.
Okay, great.
Psycho Axman says, see that I have, it's way too small.
Yes, it is a little too small.
Psycho Axman says, that's way bigger. Ruggedly Handsome says, so Alex, does any company out there make a head form that fits bigger guys like us?
Well, the biggest one out there that's commercially available is this one here from Asylum Props. This guy from Asylum Props is about the biggest that's out there. And so you can get a comparison next to my head. I have a good sized melon. Most things made with this fit me pretty good. Okay.
Oddly enough, I have a slightly bigger head than Alan.
Yeah, up here. Yes, up here, Rue has a larger head than me. But my head, my beard is an illusion because my head is the same size as my neck. It just goes straight down. So my beard makes it look like I have a head or a neck.
Newman Brown says, will you ever do a video of building up a wig head?
Yeah, I actually have that very much planned. I have it's a $10 head from Hobby Lobby, which is the male styrofoam head.
It's a bigger one.
It's bigger, but it's still not like,
That big.
it's probably the size of the CFX. So that is going to be also coming. But I thought I would show you guys this because I happen to have all of these guys here right now. So I'm about to bust out some grave diggers.
Thanks, Nady says Alan needs to market his.
I do and I will. The problem is time. The problem is simply time.
Psycho Axman says, see, your mask would be perfectly.
And here's the issue. I don't like making head forms. I enjoy making masks and monsters. If I made head forms, then that would where I would spend my time and I would feel like a factory worker. This way, yeah. So I need someone who's passionate about that or wants the money, and then I could help them get that started. But I would not enjoy that process.
Grizzly Bear asked for the friend who must wood costs. Better.
Jerry Collins, I'm going to need more of your words. Oh, you're showing me Alan?
Ezekiel says, bigger head, bigger brain, Rue.
And then there's this really ugly head.
Yeah.
That's
But if you
terrible.
look at it, straight down from the side, there's no jaw. There's just neck that happens straight down from the head. It's even painted to look like it has a neck and head separate, but that's nice.
DM Cash says, best eye, nose, mouth lineup.
It depends on what your head is like. Truthfully, every person has a slightly different one. If I'm doing a female mask, I want to do it on the CFX head form, which is this one. It's smaller. I want to do it on this one. This is more of a female fit for me. This is, I would say the Ed head is pretty darn average for monster makers. This is about the size of a person's head. You're going to add about 1 inch of clay to it, and then latex will shrink. So it'll shrink down, and they'll have about a 1/2 inch gap to get this guy on if it's that tight. If I'm making a mask for me, of course I prefer to use my head, but if I can't or don't, then this is the guy that I would go to.
Michelle Schulte asks, is the Asylum Props head form the one you use for most of your masks?
It varies. I mean, truly, each one has what I use the most is probably my half mask head form that I make. I hate to say this, I don't think anybody else has. There's no commercially available half mask head form that is as good for what I do as mine. Simply because they have plates on them and you can't get a full ear on. They're just not deep enough and you can't bucket mold right down to the table, which I really like. That's appealing to me.
Next, Amy says, make back formed molds. Ezekiel says, sounds like a job for Super Run. Psycho Axeman, just spend $150 on a bus and you're done for years. It's square. I'm assuming he means your head.
Yeah, my head is a little bit square. You're right. You're right. And if I shave my head, it looks, because I've had a lot of head injuries, my head looks like a bag of potatoes because there's bumps and lumps and stuff.
Oh, Psycho Axeman,
So,
thank you.
thank you, Psycho. I appreciate that, sir. But I thought since I had all these here, we have a lot of sculpting on, I would kind of run through the process and what. Oh, so let me show you guys one. This is important. This is important. Get ready to laugh because it's really cute. I ordered a head from China because I always try new things. It's a $30 head form on Amazon.
Oh, is it the black one over there?
Yeah. So it comes. And I'm like, what is this? I didn't order anything this size. This is the head form that came.
Oh, it's so cheap.
This is half scale. I would say it's half scale. I mean, like, it's a well-defined wig head. It is a well-defined wig head. I actually messaged the company and I said, I'm not happy. Like, I can't use this for anything. And what happened was, they said, we understand, it is small. And they just gave me a refund. And I'm like, well, I haven't, like, give me a ticket so I can ship it back to you. Like, no.
You just keep it.
Yeah, just keep it. Because they're in China and they don't want to pay that shipping back. So this is this.
So we have a child.
Michelle
head
Yeah.
form.
So basically, use the bigger form, and then if adjustments are needed in the mask, use foam for a better fit.
Yes, you can, absolutely. That is not a bad way to do it.
Actually, you know what this would
Next,
maybe be
Amy
good for?
says,
Masks for small children.
a run
Making
of-
masks to go on mannequins.
Too small.
Still too small.
Still too small for that. By the time
Yeah,
the latex
actually,
shrinks,
yes. Even
Yeah.
mannequin heads are bigger than
mannequin
that.
heads are bigger than that. Was there a question?
Next day says a run of 100 back form plastic mold kits sold in the DIY for making armature at home. Probably take it for the weekend.
Well, except for building the vacuum form machine, which I don't have a good one here.
Mold render bust.
Yeah. It's a tiny Yule Brenner.
It's going to be tiny. Alan, do you do life tests?
I do, yeah. And eventually I will have a lab day where people can come and we'll all cast each other's head, and you'll get to go home with plaster copies or foam copies, or you'll go home with a silicone mold, but we can pour up foam ones or plaster here.
DM Cash's great puppet head.
Okay, but I'd rather make one custom. You know,
Mask for ventriloquists.
maybe.
Oh, great idea. Rachel Powell says, I knit and crochet, and it's the perfect size to display hats on. Or
Tiny
mini
hats,
or just
yes.
regular size.
Tiny hats.
Yeah. Yeah, like show them your hat on it. This is Rue's hat on this form.
Oh, it's short round.
Short round. That's racist. I was kidding.
come up
I
with
knew
the
that
name.
Stacy would be incensed if I called her racist, so that's why I did it. Yeah, here, take that.
Hilarious.
But anyway.
Love, Dr. Jones.
So Rue, pour out your bug.
Chad Smith says, sign me up for the life cast lab.
I will keep you guys posted. I will keep you guys posted.
We still got about a half.
And it's now a prop. Big Dog, thank you for throwing that up on Facebook. Ruggedly Handsome says, just make sure you mark it as a cranial cast. Head cast might draw a specialty.
Head cast is a common terminology. There's face cast and there's head cast. So I would probably go with a face cast and risk In the question and answer period before the class, we clear that up.
Just to clarify.
Yeah.
Psycho Accident says, what were you cleaning out in the mold?
I cleaned out the three-eyed goat mold, and it was just wet clay inside of it.
Children.
It was just wet clay inside of it.
Venus.
So that is pretty much it tonight. I'm gonna wait till Rue gets back. You know what? Let's go check on Rue.
Creep on Rue.
I'm probably gonna open the door just as he's spilling a bunch of latex on the ground. Did you pour a bunch on the ground?
No, I haven't poured it.
Oh, you haven't poured it out yet.
Moving and
That
shuffling
means-
buckets.
That means you're about to pour a bunch on the ground.
Good night, Michael Astor.
Good night, sir.
Good
night, Michael Astor.
The guys in trench coats all stand up and you after questions.
Exactly. How's it going, Rue? Are you? Would you call the dogs?
Yeah. This is the time I don't need them getting under my feet.
Over here. Come on, guys. Over here. Down, down,
Don't want to use a
down.
pouring stool?
Jerry Collins says, my friend looking for a grizzly bear.
Oh, I have a grizzly bear mask. That have you not seen the bear mask? Tell me if he answers. Have you seen the bear mask? Because I have one. I have a blank I can show you.
1980 says, "Ruh-roh,
These are
bear."
very full of latex right now.
Yeah.
Are you on camera?
Well, the bucket is on camera.
Psycho Access, you do masks for sale?
And you go right here. Right now I'm filling orders. I don't have anything just laying around.
Do you go from the table?
And I would pour it from this end.
Yeah.
Pour it right here.
Mhm.
Pour it right here, and then lean it up against this, so it's at an angle and it all drains out.
Okay.
Pour a little closer to you. Pull it back a little bit. There you go. Just push it on over now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be scared.
Thor says it's like the Wish app. The ordering weird stuff from China, I
Pull the stool back a little bit.
assume. Ezekiel says, looks heavy, hope Drew doesn't drop him to test it.
That clamp. Put it on the table right here, and you got 2 points of weight on. There you go. And now it's got to drain for 10 minutes.
Yep.
And then I can flip it over and turn the fans on. And tomorrow we pull full murder jacket.
Ordering says it's a big whole cafe.
That is the stone thing that is used to grind
Oh, yeah.
corn. It is basically it's a Mexican mortar and pestle.
There you go.
I know this because Shannon collects mortar and pestles.
Thanks.
I have bought her many. Now, bear. We were talking about a bear mask.
Yes.
Remember that time I made a bear mask and it was cool?
And you lost it. And the rest of the mask.
It's not important, Rue.
It's hiding. Did you actually pull it?
Yeah, I have a bear pull around here somewhere.
The dog's eating?
That time when you made too many things. I've only made the polar bear. That's all I've made so far.
Yeah.
And I have 2 bear pulls. I had 2 bear pulls. No. I mean, it looks like a bear.
Grizz Mill. Bear mask is in the booth building, Shannon says.
Oh. I
Thank you,
meant
Shannon.
I meant the blank. I have a blank here somewhere.
Shannon says booth building.
You put the blank in the booth building?
On
Thanks, Rue.
Robbie Pope's show.
No, the blank isn't on. Did he buy a blank too? Because I'm looking for the blank that I have. I didn't think that would be out there.
Good night, Rodney.
Stacey, camera's on you.
Oh wait, for the no blank. Oop, now I'm dizzy.
Yeah, I do have a blank. Because I poured 2.
Mom said no.
I poured 2. She's saying no, he didn't buy one. So
Okay.
the blank is not out there.
Finished bear, no blanks, thing, no out.
Yeah, because blanks are in here with me. But I was blank jacked. Who stole my bear?
I'm gonna go with dogs. This is my awesome Eden Roche Studios shirt. I like this one especially because it looks like a Tim Bradstreet like illustration from the Vampire the Masquerade. Like
I believe I found the bear.
Oh, we may have located a bear. Did it fall behind the shelf?
I barely could see it.
You barely could see it. Hey, we found it! Huzzah! There is a bear. Oh no, there's a bear in the building.
I don't
Thank you, Shannon. She's checking who's building blanks out there. Blanks into this building.
have any ears on it. I don't have any ears on it yet, so I can change them for the type of bear. Like this would be like a grizzly, a polar bear would be down here and smaller. And yes. But this is the bear blank. And yeah, this one will turn into a
Ghost bear.
This is a personal project
We found it.
that will turn into a.
Blank.
Oh, and here's a finished polar bear.
Grizzlor.
Yeah, this is Grizzlor polar bear variety, fresh chomped seal look. Right there.
Shannon says my work here is done.
Okay. So yeah, so the flocking gun is for those, because I want to do the heads that way. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to set this on one of these 27 head forms that I have sitting over here.
Ruggedly Hansen says, what do you call a bear with no ears? It doesn't matter, he won't hear you anyway.
Right. Yeah, this, I have to do a grizzly bear variety of this. I'll do a grizzly bear, I'll do a mutant zombie bear, and I have the polar bear. So those are my 3 varieties. I'll do a black bear too. So I'll do one of each type of bear, so I have them and have pictures of them. But anyway. So gang, where did Rue go? Oh, he's putting the bear back.
Putting the bear back.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
Nick Creeder says, clown bear when?
Nick, I'd like the. Nick, do you want a clown bear? Do you want to see me make a clown bear? Is that what you want out of life? I did a clown gorilla once.
Lisa R asked, did you do Woodsy Heptaron?
I haven't done it yet. Woodsy Heptaron will probably happen during this week. One night this week, I'll be doing those.
Nick Creeder says, I mean, it would be nice.
Clown bear.
Brian, you know, like the Russian bear captured in the circus or whatever, like very angry bear with the tiny hat. Circus bear.
And you buy
The big rough.
the tutus from the dollar store
Yes.
make great neck ruffs, by the
Yes,
way.
yes.
So you buy the tutus at Dollar Tree, and those go great around the neck. I think they call it like ballerina skirts, but they're great for big clown collars. And so you put those on him, you do him a bear, give him a little clown makeup and a little hat. Yeah. So
Bear would be great in the
Oh,
showbiz
the
and the
dancing bear?
traffic, rocking out.
But if I could turn one like haunt clown and make them say, you know what, this year I'm going to be a bear.
bear.
At least I'm pushing them in the right direction, dragging them, kicking
You'd
and
have to
screaming.
fur it first and then paint on the makeup.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like sad powder makeup, like.
All right, so you guys are awesome, and thanks for hanging out.
Oh, Sean Reynolds says these make me so happy to have an actual clown mask from Ellen, so they do exist.
They do exist. Say goodnight, Stacy.
Good night, Stacy.
Say goodnight, Rue.
Good night, Rue.
And I say goodnight, and I say go make stuff.
Stuff!
Go make stuff.